So as far as the third world aristocrat video from today goes, I gotta say, huge win for the toe and a stroke of genius on my part.
Mr. Radio Voice, he's doing his shows. He's roasting some ass and he's picking his nose. He speaks like a pro on the Steel Toe Show. He's making a mess and everyone knows. Ready or not, he already came. April is a hoe and she's snorting for fame. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He spilled the beans. He's rooting for rage as he gets her thrice. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He had a felony charge, but he's gonna walk. He's got a big mouth and he talks the talk. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He's always a guest with Alex Stein. He's making a wish. He's taking his time. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. Ow! Hip hop dibbity dap to the wop 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 wop. Hong dong whittle dangle wang. Oh, he sang dooley mama splatting your hat. Doo to poot cakes.
Hey, everybody. Good evening and welcome. It's the Steel Toe Evening Show. It's our last one of the week. It's me. It's you. Oh, we've got some stuff to do. Not only that, we are 24 hours away. 24 little hours away from Keanu's big episode with the mighty Gabe Hoffman. Oh, I can feel it. I want to almost have a post-viewing party. Like when it's over, like a post-game show for the whole thing. But I don't know if I can stay up that late. Who knows how long those two are going to go. Oh, is it going to be exciting? Oh, is it going to be fun? We're going to have all kinds of stuff to talk about. Chev Maddox says, is Keanu going to be here tonight or tomorrow? We decided tomorrow around 9:30. We're going to bring in Keanu. We're going to bring her on the morning show. You know what? If you guys, you know what? I'll make you a deal. We hit the goal early. I'll give her a call tonight and we'll get a little taste, if you will, of what to expect. But a lot of people are very pumped about it. A lot of people are talking about it. They can't wait. It's causing meltdowns and confessions already, and the damn thing hasn't even started yet. It is wild. Chev Maddox says, members show after the interview tomorrow. Yes, I can do like a 45-minute members show, and it'll be right after the morning show tomorrow morning at about 10:30. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be driven by you. Tomorrow is going to be a wild day. And, we're not going to do a lot of post-mortem on Friday morning because it's, it's Rumble Friday. It's Rumble Link Friday, and you guys kind of steer that program and everything else. So not really much to do on Friday in terms of covering that. So we're gonna make it work. But rest assured, man, I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be checking it out, and it is going to be a great time. Good for Keanu. Good for Gino. Chev Maddox says, no. I mean, members show Thursday evening after the Keanu interview. Oh. That is a fascinating idea, isn't it? That is a fascinating idea. A members-only stream after the Keanu interview. Chev Maddox, hold on to that thought. Keep it right up here. We're going to put a pin in that. We're going to come back to it. I don't hate that at all. Professor Tie-Dye says it's going to be bad enough to hear that slag's voice for the interview. Boy, some people just not Keanu C. Thompson fans. That's okay. Not everybody has to agree. It's okie dokie. Sam Show says, hey, Aaron, I'm a fan of the Pretty Antisocials chat now. They said I wasn't a Jew. They're so nice. And you know something? I saw that the Pretty Antisocial gals, they didn't keep their promise. They're not done with Aaron. They figured, they're like, we can't let him go. We can't let Aaron go. He's still our man. We still love the toe. We cannot live without the toe. So they had to break their promise on that. They had to go back on that one, but that's okay. I knew they weren't going to hold to that. I'm irresistible. But Sam Show, correct me if I'm wrong, the Pretty Antisocial girls have left the Balldo bunker. Steiner's column is not coming in the Balldo bunker. And they ran basically a show saying that myself, and this is what I got from just reading about it on Twitter, myself and Nick are two sides of the same narcissistic coin. They snaked him. They snaked Nick. Oh, no. Now, I don't mind. I mean, those girls calling me part of a narcissistic coin, I mean, I'm impervious to that shit. Those girls say shit like that about me all the time. Then again, these are two women who supported a guy who probably beat his children. These are two moms who stood up for a guy who wished death upon women and said multiple women should die. So these aren't the best judges of character, these Pretty Antisocial girls. So I wear it as a badge of honor. But to see them snake Nick, who they were sexting with and sending all the pictures with, you know, Nick sending them the posing crack addict, you know, Christian Bale in the Machinist photos, and they snake him. They say he's the same as me, which in that world, him being the same as me, he might as well be Lucifer, because I'm he who shall not be named over there. So, God damn, you know what? I'm going to say it. Credit to, I'm going to try and get their names right. Jamie and Haley. Credit to those two. Credit to the Pretty Antisocial girls. They snaked the guy. They finally had they got more balls than Patrick Melton does. They said he's a piece of shit. He's a narcissist. He's as evil and as terrible as Aaron. Wow. What a sail down the river, girls. Wow, you do have guts. They were inside you the whole time. I've never been more wrong about anything in my whole life. Good job, gals. Aaron's proud of you. Sam Show says, I just saw Nick and wanted to say shalom, stayed for the tards. Well, God bless you. McBuster says, choke slam Nick sweepers. Is that the name we're going with now? Choke slam Nick? Told on himself. You can't tell on yourself. You can't tell people, oh yeah, this guy's going to talk about when I fucking choke slam my kid at the chiropractor. You don't just tell people that shit. And you can't then deny it. You've lied about everything. You've lied about everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie. And then you're going to poison the well with this and then deny it, basically confirming that you did. Thank God he doesn't have a publicist. They probably would have swallowed a 45 by now. All right, let's get into some things. We've got a very busy show tonight. We've got the Los Angeles mayor embarrassing the hell out of herself. You know, when there's a room full of people talking about an issue and John Fetterman makes the most sense, everyone in the room has brain damage. That's just a rule. We're going to get to all of that. We've got plenty of other stuff. We got some Minnesota stuff for you. They burned the midnight oil and avoided a special session in our legislature by passing a budget that nobody's happy with. And, you know, there's something about like when Republicans and Democrats aren't happy with a bill, I feel like I'm probably happy with it. You know, if the two sides are like, oh, I hate this. Ugh, what a bitter pill to swallow. This sucks. I'm probably cool with it. I probably like it at that point. Let's get into those. We're starting tonight at $1.70. It's the last one of the week for the evening show crowd. We have had a perfect week in succession. Like, not just a perfect week like we missed one day and then it got made up on another show. No. This has been a perfect week in succession, meaning every show has done their job. The morning show got done early today. They went way over. Holy shit. So, hit like, hit follow, hit subscribe. Let's go bananas. Let's have some fun this evening. And of course, if there's anything you guys have for the show, I check out the chat in between topics. We can get to all of your stuff as well. So, don't be shy. Terrible news today. Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, dead at 82. And the Beach Boys were in St. Cloud not too long ago. They were at that new outdoor concert joint. The Palladium. No, what the fuck is that place called? The Quarry. No, not the Quarry. The fuck is it called? The Ledge. That's what it is. The Ledge Amphitheater. That's where the Beach Boys were. Brian Wilson, dead at the age of 82. You know who else died today? I know that he was Mel in Scarface, but I think of him as the judge in Ghostbusters 2. That fucking guy died. Mel from Scarface and the judge in Ghostbusters 2 dropped dead. I just watched Ghostbusters 2 again last week. Terrible thing to see. Terrible thing to see. So Brian Wilson, dead at 82. I was never a Beach Boys guy. Like, fuck it, man. I'll listen to Kokomo if it's on. That's a fun little song. But otherwise, I always found the Beach Boys to be pretty corny. And wasn't, I haven't seen this reported in any of the stories. Wasn't Brian Wilson the Beach Boy that, like, brought Charles Manson into the fold? Or was that Michael something? I thought Brian Wilson was the one who was like, hey, guys, I met this songwriter dude. He's great. He's going to hang out with us a little bit. Name's Charlie. You're going to love him. I think it was Brian Wilson who brought Charles Manson to the Beach Boys. No, it was Dennis Wilson. Dennis Wilson brought Charles Manson to the band. In late 1968, Wilson became friendly with Manson, who was then seeking a career as a singer-songwriter. Wilson was interested in signing Manson to the band's label. Fucked that one up, Dennis. Great job. Goddamn Dennis Wilson. All he had to do was give this guy a record deal and a music career, and Sharon Tate would still be alive. Is Dennis Wilson still kicking? Nope. Oh, shit. He died in 83. He died young. Dennis Wilson was dead at 39 years old. Fuck. So is that all of them? Are there any Beach Boys still alive? Yes, several original members of the Beach Boys are still alive. As of June 11th, Mike Love, Al Jardine. Those are the only two, because this says, and Brian Wilson. So Brian's dead. So you got Al Jardine, still active as a solo act. Mike Love, currently touring with a band called The Beach Boys, featuring himself and Bruce Johnston. So he's still carrying on the Beach Boys name. So we have two Beach Boys left. Do we have any Bee Gees left? Are the Gibbs still? Are there any Bee Gees still alive? Because I know Maurice Gibb died. Barry's still kicking. Maurice and Robin Gibb passed away in 2003 and 2012, respectively. Barry Gibb is the last one. Andy Gibb passed away in 1988. How old is he? Leaving Barry. How old? Barry Gibb age. It's only 78. All right, so we might have Barry Gibb for a little bit longer. But the Beach Boys have two left. The Bee Gees have one left. Damn. Does John Stamos get... No, I'm sorry. John Stamos does not count as one of the Beach Boys. That's not a bad question. There's no such thing as a stupid question. That is not a stupid question, but John Stamos. Well, and it wouldn't be John Stamos. It would be Uncle Jesse. Jesse Katsopoulos, right? Did I get that right? God damn, the 90s in me is strong. Jesse's last name in Full House. Jesse Katsopoulos. Fuck yeah. So I don't think it would be John Stamos as a member of the Beach Boys. Jesse Katsopoulos would be one of the members of the Beach Boys, but he got added later on, so I don't think that counts. Sam Show says, I frickin' hate the Beach Boys. If they don't stop playing on their own, then I'm forced to hope they become invalid. Fucking there's, two left? And only one of them's doing music anymore. Just be patient. Sam Show says, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Yes, you back there with the dumb question. Deutsch Chad says, have mercy. Again, Jesse Katsopoulos, not one of the Beach Boys. It doesn't count. Annoyed Wawa Super, although I would like to see Dave Coulier. Who did he play? Uncle Jesse and Uncle Joey. I would like to see Joey Gladstone tell the Aristocrats joke. Then my life would be complete. Annoyed Wawa Supervisor says, I worked a Beach Boys with Stamos show. Mike Love is a cunt. Stamos was okay. I've heard from anyone who's met Stamos that he's a nice guy. He's actually one of the genuinely nice dudes. One of the famous people everybody says is an actual super nice dude. Adam Sandler and Keanu Reeves. Two nicest guys. Power Windows says the only thing I like Beach Boys is that scene from the Three Kings movie. And damn, man. They're all dying. How many Stones are left? Now we're going down memory lane. How you got Keith and Mick are still going. How many Rolling Stones are still alive? Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Ronnie Wood, and Bill Wyman are all still alive. Holy shit. Mick Taylor, who joined the band later, is also still alive. Brian Jones, Charlie Watts, and Ian Stewart are all deceased. Well, fuck. So there's lots of Rolling Stones kicking. We only have we got two Beatles left, right? Paul and the useless one. Ringo didn't die, did he? Oh wait. Everyone forgets about poor Ringo. All right, Ringo's still going. He's 84 years old. How old is Paul McCartney? And Paul McCartney's 82. Fuck, they don't have much time left though. They don't have a lot of time left. Joey should do the Aristocrats joke in the chipmunk voice with the puppet. That's something we have to see before Dave Coulier dies. Didn't he just get skin cancer or something? Somebody's got to get Dave Coulier recorded as the chipmunk doing the Aristocrats joke. That would be fantastic. Sam Show says, I met Ralphie May once. Now he's dead. That's true. Have you ever met any dead celebrities? I met Carlin. I think that's it. I think that's the only dead celebrity that I've ever met. Louis C.K.'s still alive. So one for two. Only the drummer is dead. Chev Maddox says Keith Richards is a marvel of human physiology. He should have died decades ago with his lifestyle. He should have. My Lost Interest says Ringo's hair is still black. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm sure it's completely 1,000% original. End of Silence says Dave Coulier fucked Alanis Morissette and made her the vapid cunt she was. Not ironic, but the other one. What's not Head Over Feet? You Ought to Know. Did you know that You Ought to Know is actually about Dave Coulier? Dave Coulier fucked Alanis Morissette so good that when he left her, she wrote a chart-topping hit about him. It's fucking crazy, right? Yeah, Uncle Joey. Uncle Joey is the subject of You Ought to Know. The fuck? What the fuck? We've got Taste Fairy Ialto says, yes, everyone knows that. All right, fine. Fuck me. Jesus, I'll stop. I just wanted, it's a sad day. Brian Wilson died. I thought maybe we'd share some stories together. It's the last evening show of the week. I thought we'd kind of, take it easy. we don't need to go too crazy and over the top, but fuck me. I guess we won't share cool stories together. Let's go to Annoyed Wawa Supervisor. For the record, everyone who ever worked in local radio knows this, and it's only ever confirmed that she went down on him in a theater. Yeah, but that's in the song, so the whole thing's about him. End of Silence says Dave must have a huge hog. Weird to think about, right? Ivana Tinkle says, I met Neil Armstrong and John Glenn at Boy Scout Jamboree in 1975. Oh, cool. They're both dead, right? Way to go, dickhead. You killed American heroes. Nice work. All right, let's get into some things here. We got some LA stuff to talk about tonight. We got some of the ICE riots to discuss. Pretty funny stuff too. I mean, to watch these people in LA try to deny that this is out of control. To watch LA try to, like, celebrities are making videos like Moby. I saw that Moby made a video way far away from where the riots are. He went to a street where there was no protesting, no action, no nothing going on. And he held up his camera and he's like, yeah, I don't see any riots. What's everybody talking about? Bunch of bullshit. LA's fine. We're doing great. It's really? You just went to the outskirts of town and found a quiet road and just went, I don't get it. That's like if you went to the furthest end of Berlin, like the far western part of Berlin, and you filmed a street and you went, I don't know what they're talking about with these Russians bearing down on us. Sounds like a bunch of horse shit to me. Do you see any tanks? Exactly. So we've got Karen. We got Karen Bass, the mayor. We've got John Fetterman tonight, and I want you guys to decide who's making the most sense. You have Karen Bass, whose brain has been allegedly fully functional her entire life. And then you've got John Fetterman, who is still recovering from a massive stroke that he suffered a couple of years ago. You tell me which one's going to talk into a microphone and make the most sense. Here we go. Let's start with Karen Bass and her what do you call it? Her sign language interpreter, who kind of looks like Barnsworth, the guy who got P. Diddy like sandwiches and shit, and he had the umbrella. That guy. Let's hear from Karen Bass. Remember, she is the fearless leader of Los Angeles. She is the mayor. She is the one when that city was on fire. She was in fucking Wakanda talking to the Ghanans about vibranium. Here she is leading the state, leading the city when it comes to these riots. Or, I'm sorry, mostly peaceful protests.
Graffiti that is just blanketing a number of blocks has been extensive. We are 1 year away from the World Cup. This is about beautifying our city and bringing our city together.
Wait a minute. I thought everything was peaceful. I thought everything was good. I thought we were going aces. Why is 88% of the city covered in graffiti? That's a statistic you would hear about an Eastern European city after the Soviets were kicked out. That's like 1993 Bratislava numbers. And that's what mostly peaceful is. LA is 88% graffiti. You can get high off of paint fumes just walking down the street, apparently.
And so I am calling on business leaders, community leaders, faith leaders to come together downtown in the next few days to talk about how we are going to clean up.
I know we started it during COVID. I know it's about inclusivity. I know it's about making people feel included. We've got to get rid of the fucking sign language interpreter. They can be like off the screen. They can be there for the people who are at the actual event itself. We've got to stop with the fucking goofy sign language guys. They're always performative. They're always stealing the show. Sometimes you get the guy from the Nelson Mandela funeral who's just making shit up and making balloon animals with his hands. These guys are fucking distracting. The way he wears his belt is weird. It's troubling me. It's bothering me. Let's get him off to the side. I don't like him.
Up the city. Obviously, city workers are already out there removing the graffiti, but this is so extensive, it's going to take community-wide involvement.
Yeah, almost like having, let's just say aggressive protests is not going to help the prime directive. of trying to get that graffiti gone and the city beautified by the time the World Cup rolls around, huh?
We had launched a program called Shine LA a couple of
It's fucking racist as all hell, but okay.
months ago in preparation for the World Cup, and now we are called on to direct that citywide. We need people from all over the city to come to downtown and to help with this effort.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be there in a fucking heartbeat. I'm sure they'll be there in a jiffy. Hey, you know where people are getting tear gas canisters launched at them, and they're they're having flashbangs set off, and they're being tackled by police officers. You know all that shit that's going on? Yeah, we need people to come down into the middle of that and scrub some graffiti. What do you think? It's like, fuck it. This ain't Tom Sawyer whitewashing a fence, bro. I don't think you're going to get people just volunteering to walk into the mouth of the lion's jaws and clean up the graffiti. 88% of the city is graffiti. That's a remarkable number. And they're like, hey, the World Cup is like a year away. Well, you didn't just get it yesterday. We could have been working on this. We could have been, knocking down the graffiti a little bit at a time. Now you got to do like 7%. You got to get rid of 7% of the graffiti every month to have it all gone just in time for the World Cup. And you got to stop people from making new graffiti. I'm starting to think that maybe this Karen Bass lady is not a very good leader. Chevmatic with $1 says, why are there sign languages when TVs have closed captions? Thank you. They are fucking unnecessary. They don't need to be there. That's right. I am anti sign language person on the TV. I will be that guy. I will take those slings and arrows. Annoyed Wawa supervisor says John Fetterman, whose staff doesn't trust him to drive or be alone in a room with them. Well, I mean, he's a giant fucking ogre. I don't blame them. It wasn't a compliment towards John Fetterman. It was more to state what a fucking walking crisis Karen Bass is. But you're right. He is a big, crazy Frankenstein monster. Let's go to Riding Dirty Llamas. No, I don't even know what the fuck that means. Taste Fairy Ialto says, I bet if the Chinese president were coming for a visit, they'd get this shit under control. Yeah, remember the Chinese president was, the Chinese president came to, was it San Francisco when Newsom was mayor, or he had just become governor? And boy, all of a sudden it went from bums all over the place for the last 5-10 years to pristine streets for our Chinese overlords. Isn't that something? My Lost Interest says that sign language dude isn't distracting at all. Looks perfectly normal. I don't like him. I can't put my finger on him. Or I can't put... Nor would I want to. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't like him. Riding Dirty Llama, here's a good reference. Says, sign language guy looks like he stepped out of Welcome Back Kotter. Taste Fairy says, sometimes they'll even put the interpreter in a picture-in-picture box on the TV. Like, why? You have captions. Exactly. It's unnecessary. It's performative, really. Hey, Crunchy is here. Happy birthday, Crunchy. Crunchy starting us off over on the YouTube end of things with $5. Thank you so much, Crunchy. And happy 29th birthday to Crunchy. She celebrated another trip around the earth recently, and goddamn, who isn't totally proud of her? Very nice. Good to see you, Crunchy. Now MSO can't say you're dead. And that's what we like most about Crunchy coming to visit the show, is that MSO cannot accuse her of being deceased. And that, in and of itself, to me, is a win. Let's go to the Fetterman thing now. So we had Karen Bass talk about the L.A., what are we even calling them? You call them riots, they don't like that. They don't like it being called riots. So you can't call it a riot, but you also, calling it a protest seems a little disingenuous. So we'll just say the immigration happenings in Los Angeles. Karen Bass, the mayor of that city, she says, hey, we got a little graffiti. No big deal. We'll get it taken care of by the time the World Cup happens. Like, that's not what people are complaining about, but okay. John Fetterman has a little bit different take on the whole thing, and you can tell me which one you think is most reasonable.
That you put on your post on X last night about the Democratic response here. What is it about the Democratic response to these protests that's concerning?
What is with fucking Harvey Firestein doing the goddamn it? Why don't you tell me what's going on with the protests? Why don't you like the protest? It's like a Jiminy Glick, Harvey Firestein thing that he's got going on. Don't worry, you're my brother. I'm not going to let you suffer.
What I'm saying, it's like you can't defend when people start setting things on fire or they start damaging buildings or going after members of law enforcement. That's not free speech. That is not peaceful protests.
The guy with half a working brain in gym shorts and a Carhartt stalking the halls of Congress like a fucking Count Chocula character, he understands it. He gets it. Why can't the rest of the party get it? And they're like, oh, well, Donald Trump went over Gavin Newsom's head and he brought the guard in. Well, fucking somebody had to. Newsom wasn't doing it. He had to. And by the way, these are the same Democrats who said, well, why didn't Trump just call up the guard on January 6th? Well, you told him that he didn't have the authority to. Now he's doing it, and you're telling him he doesn't have the authority to, when last time something like this happened, you told him he should do. You can't win. It's almost like everyone in this game is completely full of shit.
And I'm very supportive.
Except old broken-brained Fetterman. See, your brain has to be broken to throw caution to the wind and say what needs to be said.
Of immigration as well, too. We have to find a way forward that two must be true. Stop setting it on fire. Like, that's not protesting. That's destructive. That's just unacceptable.
Senator Fetterman said that your party loses the moral high ground when you guys...
What the fuck was that? I think there's been a ripe up there. So they go to AOC, and look at this little tattling bitch. So Fetterman gives him the straight gas on these protests and these rallies and what's going on. Only Democrat I've heard from so far that makes sense. And what does this guy do? He goes tattling to AOC and go, AOC, you know what big monster Fetterman guy said? He said that the riots are bullshit. By the way, somebody posted a picture yesterday that they're like, AOC's getting kind of chubby. I don't know. I thought she looked hot. Call me crazy. I thought she looked hot.
loses the moral high ground when you guys refuse to condemn the violence that you were seeing in LA. What do you say to Senator Fetterman?
I mean, I think we should absolutely condemn the violence of ripping apart families, of ice breaking.
Oh, you dirty little birdie. Look at her. That's called the old switcheroo. Hey, Fetterman called out the violence of the protesters and this and that, setting the cars on fire. I agree. We should call out the violence of separating families. I have an idea. Come to the country legally. And then even if you come to the country illegally, don't have children and bring them into your burdensome existence. And number 3, don't commit fucking crimes while you're here illegally. I mean, don't commit crimes ever. That's good advice. But especially if you're here illegally, let's not break more laws, please. That's really all the Trump administration is asking you to do. I've said this before. I said it this morning. The Trump administration is not nearly as radical as the people that voted for it. The rest of us here in America, we're like, why aren't we deporting every single illegal? That would be good. The Trump administration is just going, look, if you're here illegally and you commit crimes, we're going to come get you. I mean, so I bet you that if we went back 20 years, I bet you Trump's immigration policy would be considered a Democratic immigration policy.
The law of that.
I think Trump's immigration policy is to the left of Obama and to the left of Bill Clinton. Because Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, they loved enforcing the border. They loved deporting people.
Going into elementary schools and churches and raiding workplaces.
Oh, shit.
And I absolutely condemn ICE's consistently illegal activity and the fact that they are... and the fact that they're also rounding up U.S. citizens and also documented people who are here legally.
Great. So in other words, you're just not going to answer the fucking question then. John Fetterman says, why can't the Democrats call out all the brick throwing and the setting cars on fire and shit like that? And they go, hey, AOC, Fetterman was talking shit, saying you won't call out lighting cars on fire and throwing bricks. And he's like, yeah, I think that it's wrong to deport people and break up families. You're, what the So basically, you could have just shortened this whole answer by going, John Fetterman's right.
With no regard for the court system and judicial injunctions. And I think that if Senator Fetterman or anybody else is concerned with law and order, we should be looking at one of the most law-breaking agencies and administrations that we've seen in the United States.
Oh, shit. She just played the Uno reverse card on the stroke victim guy. God, these people are... You know, you wonder, you bounce back and forth between, are they doing this to serve their benefactors? Are they doing this to serve the people who pay them? Or do they actually believe this shit? And really, it's difficult to know sometimes because some of them are pretty convincing. And with AOC, you're like, I've always kind of thought of AOC as like dumb, but she means it. So when she sits there and she like can't condemn the protests, she can't condemn the violence, but she goes, the law-breaking administration and ICE is criminal. I'm like, I think she might actually like be buying this bullshit.
We also have a convicted felon in the White House as well.
Donald Trump has no interest in standing up to violent protesters because he pardoned every single violent protester that tried to attack our Capitol and destroy.
No, you misunderstood, Senator Murphy. Now, let me help you out. Donald Trump has no interest in prosecuting rioters that he likes. God, how do you not understand? How long have these people been in office? They've been in office long enough to know that you don't punish the rioters that like you. You punish the rioters that don't like you. This is why you guys give the ICE people a pass and you treat the January 6th people who walked in a rope line in the Capitol, you treat them like they're goddamn Osama bin Laden.
Our democracy. The fact of the matter is, Donald Trump is not looking to create peace. He's not looking to calm the situation. He's looking for a fight. He's sending in the National Guard and the Marines.
Have you seen some of these pencil neck dick faces that have been protesting? It's a fight he can probably win, so you got to give him credit for that.
To try to inflame the situation because he's looking
like
for
hemorrhoids.
An excuse, likely, to be able to declare some kind of martial law.
The White House sees this clearly as a winning issue for them. You guys have struggled on the issue of immigration. Are you concerned that you guys may be on the wrong side of public opinion?
Uh-oh.
Right now, Donald Trump is spending most of his energy trying to throw 15 million Americans off of health care. That's super unpopular, especially because it's...
What the fuck does that have to do with the price of tea in China? The guy's like, are you guys worried that Donald Trump is kicking the shit out of you guys on immigration and you sound like a bunch of fucking illegal immigrant hugging pussies? Actually, he sucks at healthcare. Oh, so that's a yes. Okay.
Essentially being used as a mechanism to also pass along a tax cut to the very, very wealthy. So, of course, he's going to try to distract people by creating fights and create.
It is pretty crazy that when Republicans get in there, Democrats always tell me that they want to cut taxes for the very, very wealthy. And I know I'm not very, very wealthy, but I always end up getting a tax cut. And then when Democrats are in there, they're like, we're going to fight for the little guy. And either my taxes go up or my inflation goes through the roof. So I'm starting to think that maybe, and trying to stay with me here because it's going to sound crazy, I'm starting to think that maybe these Democrats don't really have my best interests at heart. Opinion of the day on this very controversial middle-of-the-road talk show. Crunchy, the birthday girl with $10. Oh, no. I wrote happy birthday to Crunchy on Facebook yesterday. And Crunchy says, yes, thank you for that. My grandmother said, quote, how do you know that disgraced whore disc jockey from St. Cloud? And why did he call you Crunchy? Don't worry, Grandma. He's referring to my panty. Oh, for God's sake, Crunchy. No. Ugh. That's not going to get out of my head very soon. No. Take it back. Say something else. Change the subject. Blech. Crunchy panty. Just like you push them to get, and they go, ow. Why do they do that? Why are they doing that? They're not supposed to do. Hulkamash with $1 says, thought the old switcheroo was what you and Nick did. What? I've always been a forgive and forget kind of Christian. Thank you very much, Crunchy and Hulkamash. 160 is the number for tonight. It's our last evening show of the week. Let's make it perfect. End of silence says John Fetterman is Lurch from the Addams Family. You rang. That dude, every time the media knocks on his office door, if he answered it that way, he'd be 100 times more likable. McLuck says AOC is preggers. Ooh, is she really? I've seen her boyfriend. I wouldn't think that he had it in him. And by it, I mean a penis. AOC pregnant. Laura Loomer faces internet backlash after shaming AOC. Oh, it came from Laura Loomer? Yeah, I'm going to press X to doubt. But there's, they had the photo of AOC, and this is what made people think that she was, pregnante, if you will.
No te vende. Puerto Rico no te vende, and New York is not for sale. This is a city for working people. We will not be.
You know what I think it is? I think you can tell she's slouched over. She's got terrible posture, and she's probably got a dress on that like grabs in all the wrong places. She doesn't look pregnant, and B, I don't even think she's gotten that fat. She's still AOC. She's still everybody's favorite little blue devil.
Pushed out. Our island is for working people, and we will also not be pushed out. And so we're here today. I'm supporting programs, and we all support programs. Because supporting programs is a vote for a New York for all of us.
Yeah, who gives a shit that she's wrong about everything? I don't care. But, I'm not going to stand for the slander that she's pregnant or getting fat. AOC, she's 35 years old, so she's about my age. What do you think? Do I have a shot? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Let's go to Bappa Shab says he purposely says shit to make us chatter sound retarded in replays. Me? I would never do that. Bappa Shab says the rebar thing was awful, Aaron. The bumper reinforcement is what it's called. I know, I called it rebar. The front assembly reinforcement bar. Or it was a bar. It was a metal thing. I don't think they called it a bar. I called it a bar. The front assembly reinforcement guard. Yes, you're right. In 4.5 hours, I say a shitload of words. Some of them come out fucked up. My bad. Riding Dirty Llama says these assholes accuse Trump of doing what they do. Kind of, yeah. There's a lot of people like that. The old kings of projection, if you will. Sam Show says to Crunchy, you said crunchy panties to your granny, you skank. Uh-oh. Allegations of skankitude coming from the audience. Crunchy, try to clear that up. There is no way you actually told your grandmother that you have crunchy panties. I don't think that was going to help her curiosity. Chef Maddock with $1 says you had to say that I'm the mirror. I think he means to say, I think you had to say that in the mirror 100 times to get ready to say that correctly to us. No, this is the first time I brought it up since the morning show. I swear to God. My Lost Interest says Aaron gets tax cuts, so he must be very wealthy. Yeah, that's what I always think. Every time my paycheck gets bigger after the Republicans pass a tax cut, I go, ooh, I must be one of the 1%. Because that's who they're saying is getting these tax cuts. I'm a 1% guy. And then I look at what it takes to be in the 1%, and I go, I ain't fucking close to the 1%. When I was younger, it was like you had to make $350,000 a year to be in the 1%. What do you have to make to be in the 1%? Oh, shit. Now you got to be $787,000 or more annually. You guys got any drug companies you can become CEO of? Otherwise, you're fucking down here with the pores. Sorry, guys. Ed Harlow says Fetterman sounded more like half a working lung. Let's go to, I'm scrolling through. I'm scrolling and scrolling. Dusty Rhodes says, Nick is to the left of Bill Clinton when it comes to bedroom activities, if you will. Well, if by that you mean he's probably gay. Fair enough. All right, guys, 160 away from tonight. Thank you for your contributions. We got Kraken Slappin' renewing their membership for 37 months. Holy shit. Says, I have a rough time believing you have not ran across a few crunchy panties before. I have laid with some pretty high quality women in my day. I'm trying to think. Are there any where I've gone, oh God, no, one. I can think of one right now. Shouldn't have done that. It's nobody It's nobody that's ever been brought up on the show. In my history, there is one where I was in a bit of a rut. This is a long, long time ago. Before I met my first wife. A long time. I was in a rut, and I just said, fuck it. It was, it wasn't like, she wasn't awful, but you know what? The less said, the better. But no crunchy panties. Pray by 12 becoming a member for 5 months. Says Willie Brown now speaking out on the riots. Really? Downtown Willie Brown. Does he think they're bullshit? Or is he like, hey, we need to come together? Bapa Shab says, explain April. You guys remember April from like the coke and the drug abuse and drug addict, strung out, dry, crusty hair days. When I met her, April was fine. There's nothing wrong with April. I think April and I would have been great had we had like a nice 10, 11-month dating relationship and then went our separate ways. I think I would probably look back on that and go, that was fun. That was a time. That was a period in my life. That was good. But marriage, throwing kids into the mix and then finding out later she had a proclivity to be a fucking drug addict. Yeah, that's probably, hindsight is 20/20 and all that. Dusty Rhodes says, you are not in the 1% if you are a working man, if you will. If you go to the pay window, you are not the 1%, Ric Flair. That's true. You can't be a working man and be in the 1%. Dusty Rhodes says, wait a minute. So you actually dated April before and after your first wife? No. This you don't know this other person. She lives in Niagara Falls. You wouldn't know her. Sam Show says, I've seen April before that. Still don't get it. Well, everybody goes through a twiggy blonde phase, I guess. Am I going to get my fucking balls broken on this one? Isaac with $5 says, new sub here. Once gave money to Sin City Manny to call my wife a chola. Didn't realize he was insane. Really? The guy who dressed like a juggalo and hunted people down on the streets of Las Vegas. You didn't know he was insane. Well, Isaac, thank you very much for coming aboard. That Sin City Manny video did very well for the old toe, and we're very happy to have you here because of it. Look at this. Crunchy renewing her membership for 31 months, says Aaron at Salvage Yards. We call it rebar for once you're not retarded. I told us so. I said rebar. I think even my uncles who were mechanics growing up, because my grandpa owned a service station, I'm pretty sure even my uncles called it rebar. Because it is a front bumper reassembly, front bumper assembly reinforcement. So they did call it rebar. It was a shorthand. It wasn't like a technical thing. Thank you, Crunchy. I appreciate that. Crunchy's got my back. 155 away from today. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. McBuster says, that's done baby shit. You gay. All right, well. Papa Shab says you're rebarded. You don't think that you reached a little for that one? You're proud of that? You're standing by that? I just want to ask, before we move on to the next story, I just want to know if you're standing by rebarded. If you are, no problem. We'll move on. We'll keep going. Taste Fairy Ialto says, Aaron's pretty easy to gaslight. Sort of. I get worked up for fun pretty easily over here. Bapa Shab says 100%, and Sam Show says, I even second it. All right, well, you're standing by rebarded. Fine. Who am I to judge, right? Lord knows I've made my mistakes. I got a Facebook message request from a guy. I just got an alert. Some guy on Facebook was so desperate. We've been knocking out all our goals and kicking ass this week, and it's bothered him so much that he sent me a message request. Like, we're not friends on Facebook or anything. He had to find me on Facebook and send me a message request to be like, you're not really hitting all your goals. Stop fucking lying. He's like angry with me. He's angry that we've hit all our goals this week. And instead of, like, you don't have to write that to me. You can just think it. Like, you can, like, be like Muttering Jay or So Thorough Joe Burrow and be so brain rotted from the toe, have so much toe cancer that you just create your realities in your head and live them. That's no problem. You only sound retarded when you say them out loud. That's when the rest of the internet, you know, tells you what a fucking psychopath you are. When you come to me and start whinging and crying about me hitting the goals, that just makes me feel good. So guys, whatever you do, do not contribute to the show tonight and try to knock out the goal, because it's just going to make that guy mad. He's going to write me again, and he's going to tell me how you guys didn't really give that money, and we didn't knock out the goal, and we're not having a perfect week this week. So Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, those are the things you're not supposed to contribute to tonight. All right? Good. So with all this Chris popping and wristwatches, I just sit back and just watch and just get nauseous, walking around with an empty bottle of Remy Martin, starting shit like a 26-year-old skinny Cartman. And I'm thinking, well, how do the American people see this? Because if you... Look at that. Sam Show Loves Black Men says rebar refers to the bumper reinforcement. You are correct. Oh! One hand, two hand, cock down there, suck it. You know how much shit I took this morning and into today over calling my old 98 Bonneville that I fixed up after my grad party? You know how much shit I took today over people saying, oh, rebar, that's in concrete. Fuck you. I knew it was rebar. You gaslit me out of it. It is a reinforcement bar. They call it rebar. I retract my former statements of shame. I stand by what I said. As Hassan Piker, your idol, would say, 10 toes down. Dusty Rhodes says the Imholt uncles would call it a rebar, but it would also tell Aaron that their penises are a lollipop. That didn't happen. My uncles are salt of the earth. They are good people. They are decent human beings. I will not let you say that they fucked me in the mouth. That is not something that I'm willing to let you do today. We are not saying that my uncles had sex with my mouth. No. Let's go to Crunchy with $10. Says some dude is trying to say that a reinforcement bar in a bumper assembly is not referred to as a rebar. He's a women's studies major, so it's not his fault. Oh, shit. Very nice. 150 and even $150 away from tonight's goal. Thank you very much, Crunchy. Oh, man. Chevrolet JB says 20-year mechanic, never seen a rebar in a car. They refer to the bumper reinforcement as rebar. You know what? Fuck you. We have Google now. Is bumper reinforcement, spell right, reinforcement called rebar? Yes. Oh, let's put it up on the fucking screen, dick mouth. Yes. a bumper reinforcement bar is often referred to as a rebar. It's a rigid metal cock that you can shove right up your ass. That's not what it says. It says it's a rigid metal bar located behind the bumper cover that provides structural support and absorbs impact. While the term rebar is also used in construction for steel bars used in concrete, the automotive context refers specifically to the bumper reinforcement. Suck on my wiener, tell me I was right, apologize, and then hit the goal. That's what I say. I was right, you were wrong, eat my shit. It's diarrhea. Spoiler alert. That's not true. That's not that last part. I got a little tiger got out of the cage, bro. I apologize. Leah with $5 says, serious question. Why are so many of the men that watch your show so damn stupid? Because they have to compare themselves to an intellectual heavyweight such as myself. Thank you for the $5, Leah. I'm only screaming out of love. 145. And by the way, gentlemen, the ladies are kicking your ass in contributions tonight. Leah is now at 35. Thank you. Chevrolet JB with $1 says, don't mean shit. Men call themselves women these days. That's cope. That's cope. That's cope. We're writing that off as it's cope and cap. It's cap and cope. His favorite drink at a bar, cap and cope. Show's this is what they call kind of starting to go off the rails just a little bit. I hope it's entertaining. Hulkamasha Baby says they're decent people. Then what the fuck happened to you? Every family needs a black sheep, right? I'm the black sheep. I'm the guy who goes and does Molly and fucks girls and does stupid shit and loses sense of their responsibility and nearly fucks up my life. That's the black sheep of the family. But I'm also the guy, like a James Bond action scene. I pull the nose of the plane up just before it hits the ground. Just before. Some people's planes don't pull their nose up. Some people's planes just get, here's the ground, here's the plane, here, and then it goes back up in the air. And that's Ricada Air. Let's continue on. Thank you guys so much. What did I say we were at now? 145 away from tonight. Oh, I shouldn't have smoked crack cocaine before the show. Anyway, all of this shit that's going on, all of this talk about how we should handle this LA thing, should the federal government get involved? Should President Trump do anything? Should we call in the Marines? Or should we just leave LA to figure this out themselves because Gavin Newsom knows what he's doing? Well, 60% of Americans approve of President Trump sending the National Guard to the LA riots, 59% to 39%, according to an Insider Advantage poll. This includes 56% of independents and 37% of Democrats are on Trump's side. That's true. Insider Advantage, 1,000 likely voters conducted on Monday and Tuesday with a 3% margin of error, weighted for age, race, gender, and political affiliation. 59% approve of sending troops in, 39% disapprove. I think after, years of George Floyd and defund the police and crime going up through the roof and all this shit, I think people are just desperate for order. And so when it comes to, hey, like my thing is, I don't want American troops that aren't National Guard being used in American cities against American people. I don't want that. So, therefore, I would rather Trump didn't send Marines in. Now, that's great when you're in Minnesota and you're thousands of miles away and it's not affecting you. If you're someone in California, you might not have the luxury of those morals because you're like, God damn it, I really fucking can't stand living here. They fuck us over all the time. They don't give a shit. They never restore order. I'm fine with the Marines coming in. I get that. I think a lot of America is just pissed off and frustrated that we've been going the wrong way in law enforcement for a long time, and they're okay with anything that restores order and peace. So I understand why the American people overwhelmingly want troops sent in. They just want this bullshit to stop. You know, no country lets illegal immigrants get away with more bullshit than the United States does. We're a laughingstock when it comes to that. Sam Show loves black men. Says it's a short way to say reinforcement. I've been in the business for 28 years. It's not concrete rebar. It's like a slang way to say it. I can't believe a bumper reinforcement would cause so much of a controversy. I didn't think so either. And I just said rebar, which is a thing. So technically, I'm like more cool shorthand mechanic guy than any of these people. I've straightened rebar, reinforcement bar before. Just saying. And I've installed a cupola. I'm a hard-working man. I got a steel hard hat. I can ride rope and hammer and paint, do things with my hands that most men can't. I can't get ahead no matter how hard I try. Ain't nothing but business, y'all, from 9 to 5. The fuck am I doing? Does this count as a show? This doesn't count as a show, does it? I bet you numbers are way to... You know, I said yesterday that we barely cracked 300. I forgot that we were doing Twitter. I got the Restream insights last night. We were averaging close to 400 people last night. So including Twitter really worked out nice. Do us a favor. Hit a like. Hit a subscribe. Hit a follow. Throw us a couple of bucks. We're having fun. Abletitia says, I'm a straight razor if you get too close to me. Guys, who wrote that brilliant line? I'm a straight razor if you get too close to me. Do we still have our Charles Manson AI song? Oh, that didn't save, did it? We had a song called Charles Manson. It was, what is his, I'm a gypsy, I'm a railroad and a jug of wine. I'm a straight razor if you get too close to me. We got to see.
People look at you today, 20 years later, and they still have no idea what you're about. Tell me in a sentence who you are.
I'm a fucking murderer. Who do you think I am?
Nobody. I'm nobody. I'm a tramp, a bum, a hobo. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine.
That's it. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine. Goddamn, Charlie could write a tune. You know, I see Charles Manson could have been very Eric Churchish, you know, singer-songwriter, obscure lyrics. I got a couple new Eric Church tracks that I really like. I think I can sell you guys on them. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine. I'm a straight razor if you get too close to me.
I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine. And a straight razor if you get too close to me.
The fucking swastika in the middle of his head. What a goddamn lunatic. Holy shit, historically, this country, in a very short amount of time, has bred some lunatics, haven't they? Rebecca W. with $2 says, fuck Iran, and can we hear your Patrick Bet David? Ooh, do I have a Patrick Bet David impression? Now, this is very important. We need to make sure that for conservative values and for people who value conservatism, that we find out how exactly is letting trans people in bathrooms going to conserve American principles. That's the best I can do, is just like a deep-voiced, quasi-Middle Eastern, straight-laced conservative dude. That's it. That's my best PBD. 383 Novocaine with $2. Says, Meme Copium is live, so kiss your views, bye-bye. God damn it. Fucking meme. Son of a bitch. I really hate his New Zealand, Australian, Japanese cunt ass. I like Meme Copium. He's great. I'm sorry. I'm just being bitter because he does better than me. Let's go to... Is this the joke is this the song that he wrote for the Beach Boys, says Brett Mack. It'd be fucking cool if he did. Leah says, can we all agree the next time Aaron plays country music, we all just exit out of our apps? You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Papa Shop says you need more bass in your voice for a PBD. Okay. All right. I will take constructive criticism on the PBD impression because I've never really I've never tried one before. That was you all just saw the first attempt of a steel toe PBD impression. Thank you, Rebecca, for the $2. Red Slime becoming a member for 2 months says, "Can we bring Matt back?" Okay, yeah, but I like Matt. Matt's gonna be at the anniversary party. Thank you very much. He's gonna be running cornhole. Wait, when that formed up here, that sounded a lot better. Atomic Ray says that impression sounded like a very clean and sober Mike Lindell. 140 away from tonight. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. It's our last goal of the week. Go ahead and help us knock it out and make it another win for the toe. We got Dennis with $25 says, "Good evening, sir." Good evening, Dennis. Throw him a Hulkster.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
I know I'm giving you guys my best when I feel like I'm having a fucking heart attack behind the microphone. That's where I'm at tonight. I feel like I'm having a goddamn heart attack. 115 away from tonight. Wow, all of a sudden things are really taking shape here on this evening show. Thank you guys so much, and thank you, Dennis, for the 25. That's incredibly generous of you. Just 115. Just a couple of 5s and 10s away from a perfect week of evening shows. I told you guys I had a song for you. I'll give you one verse. I'll give you one verse. And then you can tell me if this is horseshit. Here's my goal. My goal is one day, eventually, I'm going to show you guys an Eric Church song, and you're going to be like, you know what, Aaron? I still think he's a queer, but that one was good. That's all I'm looking for. So that's one. I think when I go to the chat here in a second, you guys are going to like it. Faggot Fanfare is the first thing I saw. My Lost Interest says closing app. Papa Shop says Eric Church should cover HH. That would be interesting. Ab Letitia says, I like country music, and I think that's gay. Gay, gay, gay. My penis just detached and ran screaming out of the room. Rusty Grammer says it would be better if Chief wasn't a lefty. End of Silence says, this makes me embarrassed to hear. Shit. And RPG TV says, whoa, buddy.
Whoa, buddy.
What? All right, I got one more. One more, and if you don't like this one, we move on with tonight's show. And a black guy shooting people, so it's diverse. Did we like clap? I'm gonna go to the chat, and everybody's gonna like clap hands. Adas Optic, you're not gonna like me. I like the Eric Church version better. It's less smoky. My Lost Interest says Tom's is way better. Did I think that you guys were gonna like the Tom Waits one better, or the Eric Church one better? It does have a Tom Waits vibe. The way it's written. Now that you guys mention it, it is written very disjointed, like a Tom Waits song. Neil Young had the same writing style too. Dana Carvey had a really good Neil Young bit that kind of nailed his songwriting. Dana Carvey, Neil Young. Yeah, every Neil Young song you've ever.
This is every Neil Young song you've ever heard. Dead dog lying in the ditch. Cigarette smoker has an itch.
It's true.
Secret whores with ancient vices. Lucky has the lowest prices. I'm getting higher. I'm getting higher in the world.
It's a fucking Neil Young song. Him and Tom Waits both had that same kind of folk singer, like, why does this shit need to make sense? Billy Bob Norris says, I hate to admit it, but Eric Church does clap hands better. Hot shit, I got one. No Pen 15 Fathead with $2 says, I liked Eric Church until you made him gay to like. Fuck. Well, that kind of offsets the victory that we had a little bit ago then, doesn't it? Shit. Some bitch. All right, 1:15 away from tonight. Thanks again for your guys' continued generosity on this program. Go ahead and throw in a couple. Let's keep her going. We have a Tiffany Henyard update tonight. Enough with the okay jokes. Okay, folks, enough with the gay jokes, especially from a gay broke bitch yourself. Hey, Loke, we've got former Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. She's former mayor now. We have to get used to that. Now it's pretty much open season on sending her ass to jail. Any protections that she had from being mayor or being county supervisor, those are gone. Now they can go after her for all the corruption, all the bullshit that she pulled while she was running the show, and it has commenced. It has begun. Let's go ahead and refresh this. I let it run too far. This is the latest on Tiffany Henyard.
Thornton Township Supervisor takes the fifth rather than testify in court today.
Yeah, she'd been ordered to appear.
She actually took the fifth, F-I-F. And when she said, I'll take the fifth, and they said, okay, so you're not going to answer the question, she goes, no, if Jack Daniels, I'll just take the fifth.
WGN's Jewel Hillary is live at the Daily Center with details on her hearing. Jewel.
Hi, good evening, you all. Unlike former board.
Why do I think she's not ugly? But I want to think she's ugly. Like I have an impulse to go, ugh, gross. But then my brain goes, you're being a dick.
And supervisor meetings today. Tiffany Henyard's appearance in court was pretty quick and easy. She was ordered to come to court, I should say, in person after being found in contempt for not following state transparency laws and submitting records during her time in office. Now, as you mentioned,
imagine that. She was, even when dealing with this court case deal, she was being a crooked twat. I cannot believe it.
Instead of testifying today, her attorney pled the fifth on the former mayor's behalf. Just after 2 p.m. Friday, Tiffany Henyard, the former Dalton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor, walked into circuit court. Tiffany, do you have any thoughts about being in court today, being ordered to come to court?
We don't have any comment right now.
Friday's hearing focused on a
Yeah, I bet you she's still got enough taxpayer money that she stole that she can hire a pretty good attorney, right?
lawsuit filed by the public interest group Edgar County Watchdogs. The organization sued the village of Dalton after Henyard's administration ignored Freedom of Information Act requests last January.
Oh, so this isn't even the criminal case against her, which who was the investigator on that? Beetlejuice, the former mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot.
Seeking spending and other records. Her attorney, Bo Brinley, says Henyard doesn't have them.
She has no idea what that document was. She's going back to some board meeting where they say she held up a single piece of paper. I don't know how and could expect her to remember what that was, given how many meetings there have been and how much chaos there was in Dalton.
During court.
That's a good lawyer answer, but like lawyers like him who are so comfortable with doing that shit, and by that shit I mean saying things they know are not true, just so they can like slipperily get their client off on something. God, that's the ones that like drink themselves half to death to like deal with the shit they do. I respect those attorneys. The ones that do the shit he just did and they go, I'm going to sleep like a fucking baby tonight. I don't like those guys. I think if you're going to be an attorney and you're going to lie your fucking dick off, but lie in a way where you're allowed to do it in court, I don't know. I feel like there should be a shame with that.
Henyard was asked to testify, but with an ongoing FBI investigation looking into questionable spending and claims that she...
See, that's the criminal one that we got to look out for. The FBI investigate. The FBI takes their sweet ass time. She's probably going to be wiggling like a worm on a hook on that one for maybe a year or two.
Used her government power to retaliate against people she perceived as opponents during her time as...
Like, with these federal charges, you have a certain statute of limitations, and they'll run that right up to the line to make sure they've got the best case possible.
Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor Brinley advised her to plead the fifth.
I think that's what anybody that's smart and reasonable and has a lawyer is going to do under these circumstances. She's not a public figure anymore. She's not in office, and she has every right to exercise her rights under the Constitution to protect herself.
Goddamn right. You know, really, she's just a patriot. That's what it is.
Henyard refused to respond to emails from last fall from Dalton Council requesting records in response to the FOIA request.
The watchdogs were looking for something pretty simple, which were some credit card bills. All my clients wanted, all the public deserved, was to be able to look at what she was waving around that said that that was canceled.
With no
And what she and her lawyer are saying, good, go fucking find it. I don't know where it is.
documents in hand.
Prove I don't. Prove I've got it.
Henyard's counsel was permitted by the judge to file an affidavit.
She doesn't have it. All we have to do is advise them with an affidavit. The judge has agreed that that's fine, and we'll do it immediately.
Eventually, I think the people of Dalton asked the mayor to stop when they elected someone else, which is what's the real defense today, which is that she got out of this by losing an election.
Careful, buddy. I don't think, you might not get your way in this thing, but I doubt when this is all over that anyone's going to say that Tiffany Dalton got away with anything. Or not Tiffany Dalton, Tiffany Henyard. Nobody's going to say that she got away with shit by the time this thing is over, buddy. Wally World gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much, pal. Thank you, Wally World. That's going to bump him up right towards that third place number. Now everybody in the top 4 is in the triple digits. Look at that. We got Douglas at number 1 with 150, Steven with 125, Riding Dirty Llama with 102, and Wally World with 100 even. That's the top 4. It's looks like everybody's within reach of the number 1 spot. Thank you, guys. 105 is the number for tonight. Everybody throw in a couple. We'll have that done nice and easy for the end of the night. Thank you, kids. Appreciate it. All of your generosity. 105 away from a perfect week of evening shows for the toe. All right, let's get to let's catch up with the chat first, then we'll go to the next story. Wow, I'm being told to keep Tom Waits' name out of my fucking mouth. Shit. I didn't know it was going to be that bad. She looks like Big Mike. She got a Michelle Obama thing going on. Papa Shab says, I'm imagining that Rekieta does wrestling moves on his kids whenever he has to take them to an appointment. All right. Whoever can escape the ankle lock can go with me to Dairy Queen. Let's fucking go. You call that trying to work out of the sharpshooter? Somebody's not getting Popeyes. All right, here's the deal. Anyone who can take a clothesline from hell and sell it properly, you get to eat tonight. All right, look, kids. Whichever one of you takes a tombstone pile driver and can still kick out, you're going to get some of Daddy's whippets as a treat. Only the strong survive in the Rekieta house, goddammit. All right, here's the deal. You guys have one chance. I'm going to put this table out, and then I'm going to give you a Dudley death drop. And if you guys can, survive it after going through the table, I might take you out for ice cream. How's that sound? I'm sure you guys won't keep that bit going. Typical woman, says Dub, burning through money. Dub says she looks better than Big Mike. Yeah, I think she looks a little better than Michelle Obama, to be honest. Abletitia says, by God, it's the Rekieta Rumble. Oh, shit. It'll be interesting to see what old Gabe Hoffman comes up with, but I believe all of it. I'll say that. That guy you saw losing his shit with Keanu, the guy wishing death on multiple women in the past week, that's nothing. I saw way worse than that guy. I mean, all versions of him I could beat the living shit out of no problem, but I saw way worse with that guy, and he'd only do it with women. It's interesting. What a fucking pussy. All right, let's do this Costco story. A woman is suing Costco, and I'll be honest with you, This reeks of a lawyer who was working on a percentage and not a flat fee, because the way this turned from a woman who had a mishap at a Costco and just wanted to be reimbursed turned into a multi-million-dollar settlement for her. Before we get to that, let's. My Lost Interest says the winner of the Ricada Rumble gets to do laundry. Oh, no. Crunchy with another 5 gifted memberships over on YouTube. Thank you very much, Crunchy. And we're $90 away from calling it a win for the toe tonight. Thank you guys very much. 5 or 10 at a time. We can do this thing nice and easy and call it another perfect week for the toe. All of our goals have been handled in show, so it's been a pure perfect week. I love it. Thank you guys so much. It means the world to me. Let's do the Costco story, and you tell me if this is this woman being greedy or this woman having good attorneys.
Over a head injury suffered in a store in Santa Rosa. Now, according to the Press Democrat, the plaintiff says she suffered a traumatic brain injury back in March after a large display fell from a defective wooden pallet and pinned her beneath it.
Now, that ain't no joke. If you've ever been to like a Costco or a Sam's Club, a wholesale warehouse store like that, it's not like a pallet full of like boxes of cereal that's like, it's, you know, goes up to here on you. We're talking like these display stands are way the fuck up there, and they've got giant, you know, gallon jars of shit. And if that falls on top of you and pins you, yeah, that can fuck you up quite a bit.
According to court documents, the woman is seeking about $14 million in damages. A court appearance has been scheduled now for September. We tried to contact Costco to get a comment. So far, there's no response.
I can't imagine. The crazy thing about this story is she's suing for $14 million. She's claiming a traumatic brain injury. Here's the problem. In her original complaint, she never said anything about any head injury, period. So people are starting to think that she got a lawyer. She filed the lawsuit, and the lawyer did that thing where they go, does your neck hurt? Do you have neck pain? You know, they were basically doing the My Cousin Vinny thing. Like, did you fall? It's your horse, it is. Mine. Damn. Got any neck pain? Got anything with your back or anything? They're doing the personal injury lawyer thing. We're like, oh, I think your neck hurts a little. Like, even when you do this, like, you don't have a little, that's neck pain. Here, let's put a neck brace on you. How's your memory? Are you having any memory troubles? Well, now that you mention it, oh, man, that could be a traumatic brain injury. I think you're entitled to a pretty hefty sum. Now, her original injury complaint did not mention her head, but now all of a sudden she goes from, I don't even have a head injury, to now it's a traumatic brain injury. Sadie Novotny, a psychologist who lives in Santa Rosa, sued Costco on April 19th. But the case was moved to the U.S. District Court, Northern District of San Francisco, last week. Novotny's suit alleges negligence, as well as premises and product liability. Now, she probably does have a case. I mean, you can't have a store and then have your display cases falling on people and injuring them. You're liable. According to her complaint, though, Novotny was a customer at the Santa Rosa store on March 22nd when she described in a complaint to Costco that the floor model of a liquor cabinet fell on top of her. In a company incident report, she wrote that she caught the cabinet and pushed it back. She said that her right shoulder, forearm, head, finger, and lower back hurt after the accident. Okay, so original complaint, I hurt my shoulder, I hurt my forearm, I hurt my hand, my finger, and my lower back. Well, all of a sudden, now she's got a traumatic brain injury, a closed head injury, multiple permanent and severe injuries all of a sudden. In an interview with her attorney, Claude Weil of San Francisco, he said that after the display fell, Novotny couldn't see clearly, and her husband took her straight to the ER. Now, my husband and I were buying a liquor cabinet. I was holding the flatbed when the floor model fell on top of me. I caught the cabinet and pushed it back. My right shoulder, forearm, hand, finger, and lower back were hurt after the accident. Nothing about the head injury, if you take a look there. Wiley said that doctors there said she had suffered a concussion. She's seeking $14.1 million in damages. Now, the lawyer explained the high price tag. I bet you he did. He said in California, if a defendant gets served with a complaint and they fail to respond, the plaintiff can file for a default. But if you haven't served a statement of damages, the clerk will reject the default. So Wiley said that as a matter of practice, he provides a full statement of damages with each complaint in the event that the defendant fails to respond. And he said he often goes high on those damages because that's what he's aiming for. So it's a really nice way of him saying, I'm shooting for a settlement with Costco. If I sue Costco for $14 million, that'll get their attention. And then Costco will go, yeah, what about $2 million in a lifetime membership? You know, it's peanuts to those guys. And the lawyer will go, let's see, $2 million. I take 45% of this whole thing. Yeah, you know what? That's a sufficient payday. Meanwhile, after taxes and fees, this lady's going to get $500,000. She can shop at Costco whenever she wants. Everybody wins. Everybody ends up winning. She tipped that shit on herself, says Chevrolet JB. Now, I believe her. I believe her that the thing fell on top of her. I'm just saying that when the lawyer wanted to up the ante to $14 million, all of a sudden, oh, my brains, oh, my head, oh, I have such a splitting headache. Oh, this is so awful. Like, I feel like the head injury thing came a little bit later in the game. That's all. Let's go to 09 Canyon. He says, my neighbor had bleeding on the brain, was losing time. He thought he was fine for weeks. So it could be like that. Oh, Chad Buzemach is saying that the original complaint featured her neck, her back, her pussy, and her crack. I mean, I didn't read that in the article. I'm really glad that you guys follow the news. You know, one of the things that makes it so rewarding to do this program is that the audience is so in tune with what's going on. You know, the audience follows the news just like I do. And in this case, if we didn't have Chad Buzemach reading all this stuff, we wouldn't know that this woman originally injured her neck, her back, her pussy, and her crack. But apparently her pussy and crack are fine now, because that's not in the lawsuit. Apparently somebody must have licked it right, licked it good, licked that pussy just like they should. I believe. Riding Dirty Llama says, oh, I'm hurt. My neck, my back, my neck and back. Oh, I want $150,000, but we can settle out of court right now for $20. Yeah, I don't. You get a lawyer. You listen to the lawyer. They'll get you paid. Thank you very much to Miss Tay. Says Eric Church is a timely mention for Pride Week. Noise. And $30 from Miss Tay to insult my favorite artist. Thank you.
We coming for you, nigga.
Now, unless I'm incorrect, that puts Tay at $70 for this week. That's what I've got her at. I've got her at a cool 70 for this week. And that also puts us 60 away from another win for the toe. $60 away from the final evening goal of the week. Thank you so much for your guys' contribution. Boy, I tell you, I've never had an easier day than this Wednesday. The morning show was easy. Barely had to mention anything. The evening show has gone swimmingly. Holy shit. Holy shit. My Lost Interest says she also, we're finding out more about this case. I don't know if you knew this, but she also stepped on a crack and broke her mother's back. I mean, this sounds like a class action to me. Chad Buzemach, say hi to SP. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you to think of that song and think of me. You fucking creep. Bapa Shab says the worst part is that I half believe you. What do you mean? That it's been an easy day? You guys are fucking aces. I love you. 60 away from tonight. Finish it up. We're close. And we've got an hour left. Holy shit. So we never got to this Riley Gaines, Simone Biles, like mea culpa. Apparently the gymnast apologized to the swimmer, and I did not see this coming because they were having an argument about trans women athletes. Simone Biles is a gold medalist. So she is completely owned by the Illuminati. So she has to be 1,000% in lockstep with this bullshit destruction of American society agenda and taking away power from women, but then dressing it up as LGBTQ plus rights. It's just more societal disruption, if you will, meddling. And Simone Biles, who definitely doesn't want to compete against biological dudes, she has to carry water for this because the people who control her say so. Riley Gaines was some chick who finished like 4th in the NCAA championship swimming with Leah Thomas. So Riley Gaines has nothing to lose. She can say whatever she wants. In fact, where Simone Biles' grift is with the Illuminati and those people, quite the opposite. Riley Gaines, her grift is with the right wing and the books and the tweets and the endorsements from right-wing stuff and doing, podcasts and speeches and all that stuff. So they're each kind of protecting their grift in this whole thing. But Simone Biles lost the staring contest. They were having tweets back and forth, shitting on each other about trans athletes. And Simone yesterday wrote, "I wanted to follow up from my last tweets. I've always believed competitive equity and inclusivity are both essential in sport. The current system doesn't adequately balance these important principles." Holy shit, is she backtracking? Which, you're going to lose Subway. Which often leads to frustration and heated exchanges. And it didn't help for me to get personal with Riley, which I apologize for. These are sensitive, complicated issues that I truly don't have the answers or solutions to. But I believe it starts with empathy and respect. I was not advocating for policies that compromise fairness in women's sports. Okay, this is interesting. I'm starting to think that Simone Biles was reading her comment section and she was seeing that women were kind of shitting on her, saying, hey, this is going to take opportunities away from me. I thought you were, feminist, I am woman, hear me roar and all that shit. This is kind of fucking me over. Well, you know what? Good. So Simone had to walk it back a little. My objection is to be singling out children for public scrutiny in ways that feel personal and harmful. That's right. They were fighting over that Minnesota softball pitcher, who, by the way, I think was 18. Individual athletes, especially kids, should never be the focus of criticism of a flawed system they have no control over. That's not an unfair take. I think both of these two ladies let their egos run the debate. I believe sports organizations have a responsibility to come up with rules supporting inclusion while maintaining fair competition. We all want a future for sport that is fair, inclusive, and respectful. Whoa, shit, that's not what I want. What a lovely sentiment and a nice statement and proof that we can argue on social media and still come together in the end. Ruined by Booker T calling Hulk Hogan the N-word because I don't click off of my sound effects. So, I got to say that I know she's getting made fun of by conservatives and shit today for that, but, some of these people, they get in these Twitter beefs, they get in these big, Donnybrooks on Twitter, and they get to the point where it's like past the point of no return, and nobody can say, hey, I got a little heated, my bad, Tiger got out of the cage, bro. I fucked up. So I actually kind of respect her for that. I totally respect Simone Biles for, even though I disagree with her on the actual issue. I think it took some balls to actually come out and say, hey, look, I got a little heated. I was out of line. My bad. Good for her. Riley Gaines is still right. How about this? Have you ever watched those security, what do you call them? They're not studies. But like sometimes the TSA will test its own security and they'll try to get like weapons through security and knives and shit. And we'll see sometimes that like 75% of weapons get through TSA at certain airports. It's fucking insane. Well, in this story at Chicago's O'Hare Airport, which I believe is the biggest in the country, if not one of, at O'Hare Airport, some DoorDash driver was allowed to just drive onto the fucking airport tarmac. Nobody stopped him. Nobody told him it was a secured area and you can't get in there. Just some dickhead in a Toyota delivering food got to drive right out onto the tarmac, which if you think about, doesn't seem like much, but if you think about it, that's fucking insane. That means any lunatic could just drive out there with a car full of God knows what and really do some damage. This is from Chicago. Let's fire this up.
Chicago. So authorities say a DoorDash driver got very lost, to say the least, and drove onto the tarmac at O'Hare Airport. So this surveillance video shows that red car driving between the gates before being stopped by the airport officials. Now, the driver said that he was just trying to deliver food to someone inside of the terminal. Officials say a security guard saw the car enter but did not try to stop him.
Why?
That driver was then escorted off the tarmac with no issues. But
So you can just drive onto the tarmac. They'll stop you. They'll go, what are you doing? First of all, why does a DoorDash driver need to deliver to the fucking airport? What? I don't understand. You're at a fucking terminal. If you're at a terminal, there's shitloads of restaurants, bars, fast food, snack joints, everything. Why do you need food delivered to a fucking airport? It's so not necessary. Brett Mack says, if you look at the terminals, O'Hare, when you leave, think of your old pal Brett chipping and patching the concrete. Aboliticious writes, fat people, Aaron, fat people. Oh, is that what it is? You've got infinite choices at the airport to eat something, but you got to call in a fat fuck order from DoorDash and have it delivered to the... And you know what a pain in the ass it is for a DoorDash person to go in, like park and go into the airport and deliver your shit? What an inconsiderate asshole move. Talk about abusing the privilege of DoorDash. What a dick. I'm anti that. This is like the first time I've ever heard of this, but I'm anti it, as it were. $60 away from our final goal of the evening shows. We appreciate it. We got plenty of time. Go ahead and crush it, boys and girls. Love you for it. I've followed this story a lot. These two are just so not in the news anymore, but I do feel compelled to, like Cody Rhodes, finish the story. Do you remember Kim Zolciak? She's a reality star who's been on like the Real Housewives shows. And Croy Bierman, who was a former NFL linebacker. These two are the biggest, quote-unquote, rich white trash couple ever. So apparently they spent all their money on gambling, all their money on vacations, and are like $1 million in the hole. They're bankrupt. But they have this giant, sprawling mansion worth like $5 million. And if they could just sell the mansion, they could afford to get divorced, go their separate ways with $1 million or $2 million in the bank, and never see each other again. The cops have been called to their house multiple times. They're yelling. They're screaming at each other. They are dysfunctional as all fuck. But nobody will move out of the goddamn house because it's the only money either of them have. Well, Kim Zolciak and Croy Bierman's home problem just got solved for them. They got a visit from the U.S. Marshals back in April. And the agents told the two of them to get the fuck out, finally ending the drama with their residence. According to legal documents, 4 deputy marshals showed up to Kim and Croy's house on April 8th to kick everyone out that was still living in the house. The intervention lasted from 3:30 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. According to the documents, the box marked ejected was checked, so they got thrown out. Kim and Croy's names are both still attached to the house. The papers don't clarify who was tossed from the pad. They've reached, TMZ has reached out for more info. So far, no word back. This is the fucking house that these two broke-ass white trash homies live in. Look at that. That looks like a small resort. You know, that looks like a very small but elegant hotel. Fucking A. And they blew it all. All their money, every dime she made on reality shows, every buck that he made in the NFL, gone. This is all they have. Both of them are in debt up to their fucking eyeballs to the point where they can't even afford to get divorced. They have this house. That's all. As you know, Zolciak and Bierman finally sold the mansion. Ooh, $2.75 million. They took a serious bath on that thing. They might only, they're not each going to walk out with $1 million after this. They got bills to pay. After months of trying during their messy divorce, Kim and Croy got a ton of visits from cops at the home since they filed dueling divorce petitions in 2023. They wanted more for the property, but persistent money issues and fear of foreclosure forced them to finally accept the lesser price. Well, guys, it sounds like the white trash saga of these two is finally over. It's finally done. So wait, they sold the thing and they wouldn't move? They had to they sold the house and they still had to kick their asses out? So apparently the chick has got a new boyfriend and the guy has a new job. I'm sure they're going to be fine. I really hope they didn't have kids, and I don't think that they did. 09 Canyon says, so much wasted space. Yeah, like, what are you doing with all that? Imagine, like, that would stress me out to live in a house where I can't use every room. I can't use everything in it. Like, there's going to be entire wings of that house that I don't go to for months. That would fuck me up. I couldn't do that. Dub says squatter rights and shit. Maybe. Deutsch Chad says, oh my God, I would have bought it for that. Yeah, think of the person who bought that sprawling estate for $2.75 million. They made out like a fucking bandit on that deal. My Lost Interest says they definitely had kids. Oh, no. No. Croy Bierman, Kim Zolciak, kids. Oh, fuck. 6 children together. 2 daughters from Kim's previous relationships. Croy legally adopted them. That's going to be easy to figure out. They also have 4 children together. Oh, fuck. Well, that makes it a lot worse. Wait a minute. So that means that their kids were home while those 2 were having their white trash domestics for the cops in the middle of the night? Oh, yeah. Hopefully they were in the far wing of the house. Abletitia says the upkeep would be insane. That's the thing. Like, the thing that gets a lot of these athletes money-wise, the reason so many of them go broke, is they have a house for $4 million and they're like, hey, I paid $4 million for this house. I'm free and clear. They don't think of property taxes. And they don't think of what it's going to cost to upkeep the thing. Like, you look at the gardens and the pool and everything else. You want to even try to guess the water bill on something like that every month? Electric bill to keep the lights on in that joint and just keep basic appliances running all over the house? That would be a fucking nightmare house to own. That's just it. Like, if you're a pro athlete, you don't buy shit for money that people who make $20 million a year make. You buy shit that someone who makes $750,000 a year makes, because that's going to be what it kind of averages out at over the course of your life. They overbuy on cars. They overbuy on houses. They forget about making payments and all that shit. And they just end up like Sean Kemp ends up with like 40 kids and $1 million in the hole. What is Sean Kemp's net worth? Sean Kemp's net worth, $5 million. He's worth $5 million. I think Sean Kemp made like $80 million playing basketball. Sean Kemp career earnings, $91.57 million in his 14-year NBA career. He's got $5 million left. Fuck. I think Adrian Peterson is even in worse shape. Adrian Peterson's worth negative money, I believe. Adrian Peterson net worth, difficult to pinpoint precisely, but he has likely accumulated a substantial amount of wealth throughout his football career and beyond. He earned significant contracts, including a record-setting deal with the Vikings that paid him $96 million over 7 seasons. He's been involved in business ventures and endorsements. The number I've heard is he still owes like $500,000. So the numbers I hear are that Adrian Peterson is up to his eyeballs in debt. Dub says Nick Cannon has over 120 kids, allegedly, according to Cat Williams. Cat doesn't need to exaggerate. The actual number itself is pretty bad. All right, let's open up some of our other stories. While we do that, we got 45 minutes left in tonight's show, and we are only $60 away from our final goal of the week for the evening show. Thank you guys so much. Just a few gifted memberships, a few drop-ins. That'll take care of it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you'd like to keep it going, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, we've got all of the links posted and pinned at the top of the page. Go ahead and click them and contribute to this fantastic little show that we've got. This little boutique of a broadcast that we have going. Of course, if you can't throw us any cash, that's okay too. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, and we appreciate those too. Aboliticia says, the Bears also had a player named Adrian Peterson who played running back. Different guy. Ours was a little more famous. Here's a fucking Looney Tune in Maryland. Hey, you remember the Supreme Court recently said we're not going to hear that Maryland gun control law where they're going to ban like assault weapons and high-capacity magazines and all. Well, the Supreme Court gave them clearance for that. And Maryland decided to, I don't know, Maryland decided to prove to the rest of the country that we don't need any guns to do dumb shit that gets us in the news. Let's go ahead and play this one.
Yeah, so there was a press conference about an hour ago. We know that there's a 23-year-old man dead. His 26-year-old brother is in critical condition at shock trauma. We're right off of Oakland Mills Road. And as you can see, a very active scene out here. Police still investigating out here, talking to witnesses, collecting evidence. I want you all to take a look at this video we took right when we got here. This was a couple of hours ago. Here is what we know so far. So police say that they got the call around 7:24 from a 26-year-old man on Wilbur Court. He said that he was stabbed several times by his 23-year-old brother with a double-edged spear.
So the motherfucker had like a Shaka Zulu spear. He had one of those like Zulu warrior flippy dippy double-edged spear deals, and he was stabbing the shit out of his brother with it. So his brother decides to call the cops, and well, you know how these end.
That's right. They say the suspect left the house, that 23-year-old, and actually called police. He called 911 from Oakland Mills Road. Police got there a few minutes later, and apparently over the phone, he told 911 what he had done. Now, an officer arrived, and they say that man was in the middle of the road, again on Oakland Mills Road, and holding that spear.
Just twirling a bloody double-edged spear in front of the cops. I mean, no real reason to be concerned. There are people, though, who are anti-cop or like anti, police shooting anybody, which I get, but they would stretch this and they go, oh, come on, he just had a double-edged spear. It's not like he was a danger to anyone. Yeah, a double-edged spear that he'd shown that he would use, that he could chuck at anybody. I shouldn't have used the word chuck when this was a bad choice of words. Look, the point is he could have thrown the spear at somebody. The thing already had blood on it. He's not afraid to use it. You got it. Some people, you can't really split hairs. You just got to put them down for the better of everybody else.
Investigators say that witnesses told them that man started to go towards the officer with the spear. The officer drew his weapon, stepped back a few times, told the man to drop the spear, and the officer fired his weapon when the man didn't. Now, we're told that he died.
Hey, Bombay! Just doing Black Panther chants while he was walking forward.
Right here at the scene. Police actually spoke about the incident earlier. Lots of people out here, lots of concerned neighbors. Take a listen to what they had to say.
Domestic situations are some of the toughest because we know that they're so difficult to prevent. The goal really is to try to preserve life and safety for everyone involved. In some situations, that's not possible, and we're sad that that's what had to happen tonight. But we want to be as forthcoming as possible with every detail about everything that led up to this incident.
It's nice to see that the neighborhood isn't like rising up and protesting and giving the cops shit. It's nice to know that there are still police actions that can be taken where the rest of the neighborhood goes, yeah, no, you did it right. That's exactly what you needed to do. I mean, it's a guy fucking twirling a sword, shanking his brother. I mean, put him down.
Again, back out here live, a very active scene, Oakland Mills Road here in Howard County. A 23-year-old man with a double-edged sword. Police say that he approached an officer. That officer fired their weapon. He's dead. They say that he stabbed his 26-year-old brother. He's at shock trauma and critical condition. Obviously, still a lot of questions to be answered in this case. All of this remains under investigation.
Number one, how did the brother get the fucking spear? Jeez. And a double-edged spear, like, I don't know about you, but like double-edged spear, I'm seeing like a Darth Maul kind of a thing. That's what I see in my head. Chad Buzamok says his problem is he didn't call the officer boss. Sir, put down the spear. I'm tired, boss. I'm dog tired. I don't give a shit. Hey, I think we have video of this guy approaching officers with the spear. Just give me 1 second to bring it up here. Hold on one moment. This is very difficult video to find. Yeah, here we go. This is the man facing down the police. Why do you have to look like a fucking retard when you do this, by the way? Like, can't you just do the things with just dead eyes? Like, why do you have to go, like, why is that? Why do we have to make retard fucking barely human faces? Savages, barely even human. Why do the Maori have to prove that they really just don't belong in the world we created? I mean, look at this lady. She's got her fucking teeth are sticking out like they're dentures. Her! High shot no captain! Flona nishta boo! Like, what? By the way, that's not getting clipped. In no way is that getting clipped. This lady needs to be thrown in a cell. This guy's fucking terrifying. Like a blonde or a bald head and a giant mouth. That's like, this isn't. I don't consider these people on the same level that you and I are people when they do shit like this. All right, can you look less retarded? Honestly, they look like the Japanese guy in Major League before he goes to catch a fly ball. Yosha! And then he runs and he knocks himself unconscious on the left center field wall. It's just not. Ugh. Can't you do that without looking like your parents were related? Abletitia says it's because they're copying what they see on the internet. They don't really know what they're doing. Yeah, I just... Can you imagine Biden trying to do the Haka ritual? He'd pop his teeth out. McBuster says, silly Islanders, too many nukes on the Bikini Atoll. Yeah, it might be our fault. That actually, you're right. That might actually be on us. Can we find more fucking dipshits doing this? Oh, yeah, here's the one in Parliament. This chick looks fit for a straitjacket. There's not one of these Haka deals where the people don't look less than. No offense, but if it weren't for our ancestors, you wouldn't have toilets. Just letting you know, you can do your crazy monster mash dance and pledge your loyalty to the graveyard smash, but do you like combs and showers and toilets? You're fucking welcome. While you guys were bugging your eyes out and going, "Amaka, maka, daka, daka, daka," we were like, you see, if you flush, you don't have to smell your own shit. That's kind of a fun invention, right? Hey, isn't this road a lot easier to bring your donkey along with this thing we call asphalt over the rocks? Rocka-dooka-darka-shaka-da. No. You can walk on it. It's not a demonic spell. It's fine. It's a nice, smooth road. No. You see, it's called a light bulb. When you pull this chain, the room illuminates, and you don't have to light candles made from boar fat anymore. Isn't that? You don't have to do your dumb shouty dance before you drive a spear through a boar's head, so you can have lights at night to chase the snakes out of your thatched roof hut. Isn't that great? We got all kinds of stuff. Rock-a-dirka-ooka-da. Never mind. You know what? We're not even going to, we'll wait for tomorrow to show you what a car is. But, look at this guy. This looks like somebody burnt the snowman in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and he went like Rob Zombie on us. By the way, he stole that from Roman Reigns. This is not, and this was them in the New Zealand Parliament going like, we're going to show you how fucking crazy, intimidating, and awesome we are. It's like you all, I feel like I'm waiting for a child to show me a play their friends wrote. And I just have to wait till the end and go, oh, yeah, great. No, that was amazing. That was really, really good. You guys are unbelievable. Yeah, I think we can retire the whole haka thing. You guys it just makes it look like you don't belong. Let's go to Chad. Fuck you, Buzamok. I liked this bit. He goes, drag this bit out longer. No. Taste Fairy Ialto says, I always cringed when the Usos did this during their entrance. I was very happy to see that Gunther beat Jey Uso and got his World Heavyweight title back because Jey Uso is for the kids. He's for the kiddies. Gunther, der Ring General. Gunther, he's for the grown-ups. That's the guy. Yeah, see, Chad Buzamok Dub writes, this bit is LOL, in my opinion. Thank you. Yankee says 2025, and we still have this one step away from Cro-Magnon shit going on. Yes. My Lost Interest says, this is what my wife sounds like when I forget to take out the trash. Taste Fairy says, but Joe Hendry lost his TNA title. I know, but that's because he's going to be going to WWE soon. And they need to get that belt off of him. It's going to be fine. What... Hold on, I got to go back to the haka dance thing. I want to do something. I just want to do one thing, and then I'll move the fuck on. I promise. This is what happens in the Ricada house when you no-sell Nick's choke slams. This is the last thing Nick's kid sees before he goozles and puts him up for a choke slam. By the way, I'm just kidding. A woman like this would kick the living shit out of Nick. He'd have no chance. So the bit falls apart, and we move on. Vadam with $5 says, I think it was an awesome bit, Aaron. Don't listen to them. Yeah, Chad Buzamok. Vadam says I fucking rule. 55 away from today. Thank you very much. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. We've only got 30 minutes left, and we've only got $55 until we can declare it a perfect week for the toe. And here on the evening end of things. No Pen 15 Fathead with $2 says, are you growing that stupid goatee back? I'm not. I just didn't shave before the show tonight. It's, I shaved on Monday. And usually I can make it a couple of days and I can shave on the third day. But who knows? Maybe I'm going through puberty. Let's go to Taste Fairy Ialto says they no-sell like a Samoan taking a headbutt. Well, I mean, if you headbutt a Samoan, they get confused. They're like, what are you trying to hurt? I don't. End of Silence says, please replace Joe Hendry's name for Marv Heemeyer. I believe in Marv. I'm going to say again, Marv Heemeyer was a mark. That's what Marv Heemeyer was. The Killdozer guy, he was a fucking mark. He was a Neanderthal. He was too dumb. He got swindled by people smarter than him. And then he threw a fucking fit. And he lost his mind. And then he ran into a bunch of shit and then blew his head off. That's my take on I don't romanticize the Killdozer guy the way everybody else does. Ed Harlow with $10 says, if you flush, you don't have to smell your own shit. Thank you, Ed Harlow. I thought that was a great line, too. Thank you, buddy. And thank you for the $10. I appreciate it. 45 away from tonight. Just $45 away from calling this thing, again, another win for the toe. Everybody throw in, or a couple of you, and we've got this thing all him. Bringing it in for a nice landing tonight. I like that. Thank you, Ed Harlow, for appreciating that segment. All right. Now we've got this is the single mom with 2 kids who graduated early. This is actually kind of feel good. This is kind of a nice story I have for you. This is to show that I'm not a calloused, heartless piece of shit. And then we're going to make fun of Katy Perry right after that. So we're going to balance it out. You guys throw in your 5, 10s, and 20s, and by the time we're done with this story, we can celebrate a perfect week of evening shows. If you can't do that, hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, hit share. We appreciate any way you contribute to our little mom and pop shop here. You're going to get disgusted. This is a really, really sweet one.
A 17-year-old single mom is graduating high school early.
All right.
WRTV's Najwa
Wait a minute.
showing you the...
Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Yes, you heard that right. She is a 17-year-old single mom. Not only that, when you see her children, it's not like she just had them. They look like they could be about a year old each. So this is a woman who got pregnant when she was like a freshman or in 8th grade. And she, in fairness to her, she stuck it out. She fucking killed it. And she's graduating from high school early. Good for, just to have kids when you're in high school and still graduate, that's hard enough. That derails a lot of people. But to be able to graduate early and like take the college courses and shit like that while having kids, it's pretty damn impressive.
Special school that helped make sure she succeeded and walked across the stage.
Maybe she did have the kids recently. The baby weight is still... You know what? Never mind. Let's not body shame today, guys. This is a happy story.
Is the goal. Demaya Norman has been working towards...
No, it's not. $45 is the goal, stupid.
Since she started her freshman year at Indianapolis Metropolitan High School.
I'm ecstatic to graduate my junior year. That's a real big treat for me.
Spell ecstatic. Never mind.
The proud graduate walking across the stage at 17.
See, look, that kid is not newborn. Her twins are, they look like they're damn near walking.
A milestone she didn't always think she could reach when she found out she was pregnant with twins at just 15.
Fuck, so she was a freshman. And she got pregnant with twins. Oh, my God. I can't imagine how fucking terrifying that is. You know what? Good for her not getting an abortion. She had the kids. She stuck it out, and she graduated early. Good for her. She can get a decent job, support her children. Maybe afford a gym membership down the line. Look, that's not important. Let's not bully.
I was shocked, of course, and I was scared. I did have the thoughts of dropping out. I was a freshman, pregnant with twins. I felt like a stereotype.
But staff at her high school.
Wait. This feels like a trap. I was a freshman, pregnant with twins. I felt like a stereotype. Now, wait a minute. Like the kind of stereotype I can say and still keep a channel, or like the kind of stereotype that Sam Show and I will talk about once we're off the air? Which kind of stereotype do you mean? I need to know. because I need to know what I'm allowed to say. Like, if you say it first, it gives us a path.
Were determined to help her.
Or
be
it
more
kind
than
of,
that.
right now, it kind of seems like you're tricking us into saying it first, and then you get to call us racist.
Demaya was too.
I was determined to finish high school. This school gave me a lot of resources.
The non-traditional school was founded by Goodwill Education Initiatives in 2004.
Good thing she went to a special school, because, like, I wouldn't put it past our school system now to, like, almost hint to her that she should get an abortion. As crazy as that sounds.
It supports students like Demaya who might face barriers to their education.
We work really hard to help remove those barriers. We have an additional initiative and focus on taking care of the student as a whole and providing services that help the family.
Some of those wraparound services include transportation and housing assistance.
It's a lot to wrap around. Holy shit. God, you know, that does, I will say this, like, the morbid obesity, as nice as this story is, it does get to me, because it's like, especially if you have kids, it's like, don't you want them to, like, see you? Like, don't you want to be able to see your children grow up? Like, this is so fat, you're gonna die. That's not a question. Like, blood flow, diabetes, organ failure, like, it's all in your immediate future. This is a 17-year-old, and she's this fucking gigantic. Like, you're going to die in your 40s if you don't cut this shit. Well, she had the kids at 15, right? Well, I guess kids will be fully grown by then.
Free childcare and an elective course on child development.
Finding out that I was getting credits just for showing up and learning about being a teen mom, that felt amazing.
Through the high school, Demaya was able to take college courses, earn her QuickBooks certification, and even get a job.
It's not just that she's survived, but she's actually thrived, and we are so proud of her.
Now, as the teen, high school graduate, and mom of twins, prepares to head to Ball State University on a full-ride scholarship.
Full ride.
She's sending a message to her 15-year-old self.
I'm very proud of you for continuing to go to school.
What would you?
And don't listen to your mom when she tells you to get an abortion. Holy shit, good for her. Full ride scholarship to Ball State, too. She's not fucking around. Just maybe get her on, like, the smaller cafeteria package. If I could just one, that's constructive criticism more than anything else. Adam Simon gifting a membership over on YouTube. Thank you, Adam. Julius with $2 says, so she's slow and fat. Double whammy. Well, it sounds like she's pretty smart. I can't really go with slow. Veldrain with $1 says, isn't that Precious? I don't think Precious could read, dude. I could be wrong, but I don't think Precious was a reader. All right, that's going to put us down at $40 away from tonight's goal. Again, throw in a couple of dollars over on PayPal, Venmo, Streamlabs, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. $40 away from calling it a win for the toe and the final win of the evening shows for the week. So 40 even makes it a win. Let me catch up with the chat here. This is mean. I'm scrolling up and there's Chad Buzamok says, and the daddy is, yeah, no, sorry. It's not. Spoiler alert. It's exactly what you're hinting at. Dick face. I had a junior with 2-year-old twins in my homeroom one year. It happens. You know, right? I went to a suburban school with mostly white kids. We only had one girl who got pregnant. We didn't even know the guy who did it, so I don't think he went to our school. Or it was a teacher, and we weren't supposed to know. My Lost Interest says, you sure she's not still pregnant with more twins? Yeah, what if the doctors grab her and shake her and a couple more fall out? You know? Did you check? Because there's still a lot of mass. Yankee says, holy fuck, she might have a couple more in there. So a couple of people are going with that one. Atomic Ray says, want to bet her mama lied about where they put the... All right. I don't think we want to say that word. She crushed the daddy, says Nomo. You know, there's girls out there who are pretty good looking and they can't get laid. And then they have to watch this big mama have twins. Oof. And End of Silence says, seriously, how can she pay to eat that much? You know what I think when I see someone like her or even like a Patrick Melton is I think, do you know how much hard work it is to put the calories it takes to sustain that morbidly obese frame? Like, you just have to constantly be shoveling food into your face in order to just to keep that weight on. I mean, you get like Melton or this girl, people who are like 400 pounds plus. Just like if you just eat 2,000 calories a day, weight will just start falling off of you. But like they're that undisciplined. They're just that fucking pathetic that they can't just eat reasonably. Chad Buzamok says she is literally the size of the 3 girls in blue beside her. All right, we get it. She's fat. Los Federales says, work that hard to work for the white man at the end of the day. Well, I mean, she might work for a Jew. Atomic Ray says, so I had to pay tax dollars so slobs can learn life lessons in school. What the fuck is wrong with this country? Nomo says, Precious 2, Spaghetti Boogaloo. So I kind of pitched this as a really nice, kind of a sweet story. It seems that you guys are not taking it that way. My Lost Interest says the trifecta, fat, horny, and smart. Das Optic Nerve says, and the daddy is still out buying Newports. Chad Buzamok says she got pregnant when Aaron spit in class. All right. No, I got the joke. I got the joke because there was, yeah. It didn't happen. He's gay. My Lost Interest says, although she did have a skinnier neck than Aaron. All right, I'm leaving. I really want to hit that $40 and call it perfect, but now I'm self-conscious. Now I feel like I have to tuck everything back in. That didn't sound right. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says, Aaron, check out this eating champ. She does eating challenges. All right, let's we'll mosey on over and check that out. $35 away from tonight's goal and perfection. Thank you very much. Very nice of you. End of Silence says 12 pack of Coke a day, 2,500 grams of sugar. I bet she eats 6,000 calories minimum per day. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be something we can look up. How many calories to maintain 400 pounds? The exact number of calories to maintain a weight of 400 pounds varies depending on individual factors. 400-pound individual who is 5'10" needs 4,575 fucking calories in order to stay that size. If you're 5'10", 400 pounds, you need 4,500 calories to stay 400. Jesus, how do they do it? That's where you get to, like, fat's a choice. Obese is a choice. There's no, like, somebody did this to me or anything like that. If you have to actively seek out and eat 4,500 calories a day, that's insanity. So, like, let's say you're me. Let's go 6'3", 220 pounds, calories to maintain. 2,400 to 3,000 calories a day to stay at 6'3", 220. Ooh, I've been going over then. Fuck. That ain't good. I'm finding out that I'm a big fat piece of shit. In my opinion, like, I don't eat 2,000 calories a day, but apparently I'm wrong. Nomo gifting a membership to, it hasn't gotten out there yet. Hey, thank you very much for that gifted membership. That's now going to put us $30 away from today's final goal of the week. We got 15 minutes left. We got $30 to go. Finish it off. Throw in a couple. And we're just about there. Thank you, guys. Pass on those memberships. Always kind of you. Whether it's Rumble or whether it's YouTube. Just $30 left to go. God bless. Katy Perry has been getting a lot of shit lately because she went on the space shuttle. And then when she went on the space shuttle, She came, or the capsule or whatever. She came back down to earth, and she's like, oh my God, you know, she was really excited about it, and you know, she wanted to tell everybody about it, and everybody started shitting on her. And then the memes started where, you know, Katy Perry ate a burger and now she thinks she's Dave Thomas or whatever. Well, Katy Perry stepped in it again. She stood up for the immigrants and the migrants that were protesting in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, in her message that she posted in Spanish and a little bit of English, Katy Perry said that the land rightfully belongs to the conquistadors. Now, I don't know how good your history is. I don't know if you've brushed up lately or not, but the conquistadors were the Spanish colonialists who came in and conquered the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Incas and took Mexico and Central America in the name of the King of Spain. So if we're going to do a social media thing, we're like, I'm on the side of the Mexicans. I'm on the side of the migrants. Ixnay on the conquistadors, Katy Perry. She couldn't help it. People said historically illiterate. It wasn't Mexico at the time it was colonial Spain. It didn't become Mexico until decades later, and it's been part of America for much longer than it was part of Mexico. So, Katy Perry said Los Angeles, a place that literally began as El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora a la Reina de los Angeles, founded by Mexican settlers in 1781. This was once Mexican land, and the people being targeted today are often descendants of those who have lived here for generations or who came seeking safety, work, and dignity. The problem is that in 1781, when Los Angeles began as part of Mexico, it was Spanish I'm just saying that maybe Katy Perry, maybe geopolitics isn't your game. I know. How about a spelling contest? She can't help it, guys. She went up to space. She touched the face of God. And now she feels she needs to educate us on these items. Anonymous Fake Dono with $5 says, don't worry, Aaron, your neck's not fat. It's husky. Oh, well, doesn't that just make me 18 shades of better? Thank you. $25 away from tonight's final goal and 12 minutes left in the show. Bring it in for that landing. Let's hit $25. Shit, let's hit it $2, $3, $4, $5 at a time. Fuck. Let's see if in the next 10 minutes we can't hit that 25 with nothing over $5. Let's see if we can do it as a family, as Vin Diesel would say. $25 away. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. 10 minutes to go. Red Fox Mad renewing his membership for 37 months. Says, suck it Nike Ricotta. You are my bitch. Everyone sub to this amazing program to stick it to Nick. I don't think he should care if we're getting members or not. Maybe he does. He likes members. But I would hope that he's got bigger fish to fry. Like what Gabe Hoffman is going to say in about 24 hours. Uh-oh. So Katy Perry's retarded. That's what we learned today, or at least what we confirmed today on the program. End of Silence says, damn it, I want to hear the song. What song? Throw in that $25. I'll play any song you want. What's the eating challenge thing that Red Fox Mad sent us? Katina eats kilos. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to have me saying moo, that's for sure. Oh, but wait, there's more.
Is this one of those like 90-pound broads who somehow like shoves a week worth of food down her gullet? Because that's like the new thing now.
Wow. 500 grams of their out-of-the-bone beef short rib, which is really cool that they deboned that for me because I'm a hot mess eating off the bone.
Yep, it is. It's another little twiggy broad who's just going to start shoveling food down her throat. And I would assume throw it up later. Like, how do you stay that way?
Challenge started. Oh boy. Oh, I am nervous. I haven't even started eating and I already. That is candy. Meat candy, that is. I'm not sure that I've met a brisket that I didn't like, but I'm also pretty easy to please when it comes to the meat.
See, like, here's what I don't understand. Like, that sauce is just adding more filling. Like, it's more filling if you use the sauce. I don't understand how that doesn't fuck them up.
It was legendary. The moo jus that they served on the side of this
moo
was
jus.
also quite delicious and kind of helped the meat slide down just a bit easier.
Just easy, boys. Easy, easy rod. Easy rod.
Final bite of brisket. Let's try some pastrami. Mmm. Ooh, that is red. That is really nice. I guess this pastrami was basically their Wagyu.
I can tell which, who of you in this, watching this show still here at the end, need to get laid. Because if you're watching this woman shoveling meat in her mouth and you're leaning forward, you need to find somebody.
Brisket that had been soaked for 13 weeks in a salt solution. This is delicious, but bring friends
Jizz. That's the secret ingredient.
and share. There's a lot of food.
I'd taste it from anywhere.
As lovely as it is to eat Wagyu beef, it is very heavy, very rich, and it quickly becomes very tiresome to eat.
It's like you're doing like one of these 5-pound eating challenge, and some of it is Wagyu, which is like expensive. It's a delicacy, and it's like you just have to shove it in your pie hole.
That pastrami was amazing. Now we are going to move on to the short rib off the bone. Oh, let's do it. Oh, mama, okay. To the entire
All right,
Australia
she's still going.
series, so what better way than to go out with a big old barbecuey smoky bang? Oh, final bite of short rib. Thank goodness. Okay.
Here's what I don't get. Here's the physics of this I don't get. Where's this going? Like, she doesn't have space. Like, the lady who graduated high school at 17 with the 2 kids that we saw earlier, I could see, like, it's all, you know, some of it's here, some of it's here, some of it's over in her ass. She doesn't have anywhere to go with this stuff.
Half a kilo to go. So to celebrate, we're going to try some coleslaw. I've heard good things. This is
Jesse P.S. approves.
Baby crying was exactly how I was feeling at this point. As delicious as all of this was, the smoky taste of the beef was really starting to get to me.
And now you have to eat heavy
These still look
potato-y
scary
fries.
even on the platter. Try a couple.
She didn't
Earlier,
make
you want to
it.
bring them under the table? Ugh. Your girl be full, but it is delicious. Ugh. I'm going to go ahead and add some of the crowd cheering in here. As low as my confidence was going, the crowd really helped.
And a soda. Like, I don't understand this scientifically.
Keep my spirits high. Hallelujah. Oh, this looks
So she's still got to eat, like, this salad and bread. Fucking
now.
hell.
Hey, good for you.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
She's 40 minutes and 51 seconds. She's got 19 minutes to go. Michael, eat.
I've got garlic bread. I don't.
All right, we got to skip around a little. Be funny if she stopped right here. She's like, can't do another bite. Sorry, guys. I'm out. It's got close, but what are you going to do? She made it.
Come on, babe. You know.
Oh.
Come on, babe. You got it. There we go. 10, 9, 8.
Oh, she's going to puke. Oh, God.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I I mean, technically, there's still some on the table, but I guess we won't be a dick about it. Yeah, that's the new thing is like, they found out, hey, if you put a big fat guy in a video and have him eat a bunch of meat, that video will do okay. But if you put a skinny little white girl out there and have her shove meat in her mouth, it does better for whatever reason. Vidam with $5 says, who has all been in the Balldo bunker? I imagine it smells like sex, semen in the Balldo bunker. I wonder if the Playboy Mansion smelled the same. I think they're a little classier. They're in the Playboy Mansion. All right, guys, we got $20 to go. We got 5 minutes left. Who's coming up big for the toe and knocking out that last $20 and calling it a perfect week of evening shows? $20 left. Who's got it? Who's coming in hot? Who's clicking the link? And who's giving us our perfect week of evening shows? I got a couple stories here for you. While we do that, you guys decide who's going to throw in 5, 10, 20, 30, whatever, and we'll get ourselves a W. Hopefully. Fingers crossed by the time this is done. Hey, this is kind of rubbing it in. The A's, the Oakland A's made one of the greatest catches of the year the other night. Unfortunately, unless they were in, they were in LA. Okay. I was going to say, if they were in Oakland, nobody was there to see it because they are fucking pissed in Oakland that the owner's taking the team away to Las Vegas. But it's weird because Las Vegas has to like build a new stadium for them. So Oakland knows their team is leaving. They hate the owner for doing it, but the team still has to play as the Oakland A's. It's weird.
And this one to center field. Denzel Clark on the move back after he stepped towards home plate and makes another
Holy
catch.
shit.
Oh my God! Back-to-back weeks where he was...
Yeah, that's like, as a pitcher, I've been there before where a fielder bails you out and you just have to look and go, yeah, I had nothing to do with that. I made that as difficult as humanly possible.
He's the electric play of the week, and he's already on the leaderboard for this week.
You go ahead and book it. I've heard the list.
Thank you, Wild Card, for the gifted membership. Keep them coming, guys. We got about $15 left to go. Let's get that last 15 hammered out and call it another win for the toe. Keep it coming.
I've seen the list of the greatest catches you're ever going to see in your life. If you don't have room for this one on your list, we're watching two different sports. I mean, Denzel Clark climbs the ladder and then hangs out.
Now, I played baseball my entire life. Followed baseball my entire life. I still have never answered the question, what happens if you catch the ball, go over the fence, and land outside of it? Is that a home run? Real quick, Atomic Ray with $5 says, I like the ending, a sloppy woman. $5 from Vidam says, the Steel Toe Anniversary Show should do an eating challenge. We have some fat radio hosts and fans. Thank you, Vidam. We'll consider it. $10 left. Who's got that last 10 to call it another win for the toe? $10 away from the W. Thank you guys very much. Couple of minutes left. Who's got that last 10 to call it another win for the toe? Couple of 5s, a 10. Either way you want to do it. Please and thank you. Appreciate it. Here's our last one. While we're doing this last one, 5 or 10, get it in there, call it a W. A Connecticut man named Asmir Jerkovich, led police on a high-speed chase through Cromwell driving a Mercedes E300. The chase reached 132 miles per hour. Now, eventually, they were able to get the guy to stop. They flashed the lights. The guy took off. He was weaving in and out of traffic. Due to the hazard posed to the public, the trooper terminated attempts to stop the eluding vehicle. But he ran the plates, tracked down Jerkovich. The man admitted to being the driver and said the reason he was going 132 miles per hour was very simple. He was late for a job interview. Then, I mean, you can't give the guy a ticket if he's going to a job interview. What are we trying to do? Stymie economic production? That would be fucking terrible. 132 miles per hour. Oh, yeah, I was just late for a job interview. Just across town. I can make up the time this way. Fucking Nomo writes, Cossack scum. $10 away. Let's do that last day. We can't stop $10 away, can we? No, we can't stop $10 away. Let's not do that. Throw in 5, throw in 10, gift a couple of memberships, knock out the last 10. Let's call it a win. Das Optic Nerve says, but did he get the job? You know, I don't know if he got the job. $4.49 from Miss Tay. Thank you very much. Wally World with $4.99. Thank you very much, Wally World. That's going to put him in third place now, and it's going to put us $5 away. Wally World is now in third place. $5 from tonight's goal here on the toe. Wally World is at 105. Riding Dirty Llama now in fourth at 102. Thank you guys so much. $5 away, and then we're all done. Chad Buzamak is loving this. He's loving this. Sam Show says, what did I miss tonight? Buzamak says, Sam Show, same as always. Nothing big. You know, you say that. You say it, and you don't even consider the fact that it might hurt my feelings. You don't even think that maybe that might make me feel really shitty. One more gifted membership, one more $5 drop, and we can officially call it a perfect week of evening shows for the toe. This might be the funniest way you guys have ever done it, I have to say. So is this this is the same chick we watched before. This Katina Eats Kilos, the chick who ate the... I think we've watched this before, the monster burrito.
Some sides of their chili Colorado and
Yeah.
chili verde, all sauces barely closed, so we'll see if I can get it. Ooh, it works. Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ. And she stays like a tiny human being. The amount of gym work, she obviously lifts. She's got better arms than I do, for fuck's sake. She'd crush me in an arm wrestling competition.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. I gotta remember I have to use all this sauce, so I don't want to just be drinking queso at the end.
What's wrong with that? Something wrong with drinking queso? I mean, what if you've got a little bit of queso left in the bowl and you shove some chips in your mouth and then scrape the bowl with your finger and then do the... Is that bad?
This video.
I love this, like competitive eating. People are cheering. They're like, yeah, fucking obesity. Let's roll.
Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll, of course, catch you guys in the next one.
What do you mean?
Oh, what did I get myself into?
I mean, probably some kind of serious artery damage, but...
You just strip them down to a diaper and then throw them in a bath.
She's finishing it up.
There you are. Oh, that'd be a lot of cheese, and I love cheese.
You ain't gonna shit right for a week. Why does that look good? Like, why does it, like, even though she's dying from overeating, why does that look fantastic?
That means she's got room for deep fried ice cream is what that means. But she still has the twinkle in her eye. She's all good.
All right, last bite.
Oh, God. I don't care if it is like a cute chick. That guttural burp
delicious.
will always be
Oh,
disgusting.
thank God I'm done. Cheers.
There we go. She did it again. Oh, my God. Did they ever post ones where she fails? Because it seems kind of weird to just post good ones. My lost interest with $1 says $1 at a time. Numero uno with $1 says we keep 80 cents of that. I got bad news for you guys. That 160 is going to go with the 350 from Red Fox Mad with the 499. That's going to do it. We did it. Another win for the toe. Another successful week. Thank you guys very much. Very much appreciated. Red Fox Mad says, old video of our fielder going over the wall. Okay. This will answer my question.
Hopefully he's getting hot. He'll hit third. He drives it to deep left center field. Back goes Kamenz to the warning track. Leaps and he has it.
I didn't know white people could get up like that.
He falls over the fence. Kamenz fell over the fence as he made the catch. Gotta be a homer. It's a home run.
Oh, it is?
He made the catch, but since he left the ballpark, it's a home run. You've got to stay in the park. You can climb the fence, but you've got to stay in the park.
Yeah. All right. I kind of had a hunch, but I've never seen it happen before in all my years. All right. Thank you very much to CJ. Says, my bro ate so much spaghetti, he was hospitalized. God, stop. Stop at some point. Numero uno with $1 says, when you doing a mukbang, Toe? I tell you what, if I get down to 210 pounds, I'll do a mukbang show. I'll do one of those big eating things if I get to 210 again. Addicted to Super Chats, Good Egg with $1 says, double chin looking wild tonight. I'm just going to do this until I don't feel like dying. Mrs. Green Dingus with $1. Thank you so much. Numero uno with $1 says, what's the age demo for the Toe Show look like? Been meaning to ask. 25 to 49. I think when you look at our YouTube demographics, I could be wrong. It's mostly 25 to 34. But I think that 49 gets a little piece too. About 25 to 49. Numero uno with $1 says, you better change that 210 to 190, fatty. Fuck did I ever do? Fuck did I ever do? If I hit 210, if I lose 10 more pounds, I'll let you guys choose what the big mukbang is. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you guys very much. Another goal hit, another perfect one for the Toe. You kept me a couple pounds. You kept me a couple of minutes later. I got to get the fuck out of here. Bye, everybody. I'm turning into a pumpkin.